Hopefully.
We better hide that one.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we don't want people knowing we got that one.
Yeah, this is spoilers.
Yeah.
Which one are we doing?
What?
So we
got
pick
orange
on
ones.
Are those
screen.
cold? Did you put those
They are
cold on the
cold.
map?
I did, sorry.
Thank you.
I thought we were
It's
gonna
cold now.
Yeah, oh no.
I thought we were gonna move them right away.
Are we live?
We, I hope,
Okay.
are live.
I want to finish my story.
I would really like to know what happens at the end of that story. Let's find out. I think.
Wait, should I-
Tomorrow.
Let's make sure that the microphone's working pretty good. I think it's working pretty good.
Yeah.
Is
If
it
the
working?
bar's moving, it's good.
Well, let me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Do you want me to start over from the beginning or just
I-
jump to the middle?
Are we talking about copyright?
Yeah.
And rap lyrics?
Yeah.
And
Thievery.
yeah. Why don't you?
Alright, so quick synopsis. I made a Let's Play video of a game, Space Quest 2. And then I put it on YouTube, and then like 2 years later I get a copyright mark, and I'm like, what's this all about? So I go listen to it, then I go listen to the song, and some rapper from 2016 had sampled some music from a 20-year-old game, and then decided to say, I own this. So, I was like, there's like 7 views on the video. It's not a monetary thing, but this is like, what the fuck, you can't do this shit. So I wrote a copyright thing, and I'm like, hey, this thing is 20 years old, it was published, whatever, or they don't own the rights to it. And I got an email back 30 days later saying the copyright has been released. But what pissed me off was the reason it was released is because no one fucking viewed it! So here's the thing, alright?
View the video.
No, viewed my complaint.
Oh.
But I would be very upset if I was like a legitimate person that made money on this,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
and
30
they
days
took
afterwards.
30 days to review something and didn't even review it, and I lost 30 days worth of revenue on that, I would be fucking livid. So,
Yeah.
fuck rappers. And fuck YouTube. Boom, that's all.
The only charitable thing I might be able to say is it's the original video had 7 views. Maybe they're prioritized by number of views, and if it had been a higher view count video, maybe they would have gotten to it faster. I hope so.
Maybe, but that could have been my gateway video. So,
It was going to take off any century now. It was going to hit 100 views.
any minute.
Any minute.
Oh mercy.
All right.
All right. I have the videos on the wrong side, so I'm just gonna just sit tight.
Okay.
Just stay right where you are.
Am I have to tell my story
I'm
again?
gonna yes.
Oh.
You know, why don't you take us through
The Nas minute?
The Nas minute.
Well, I don't know if Bill wants to take this
I
one.
can
Okay.
start this one.
Well-
So,
Good.
going back to our...
I'm just watching you, just very slowly sliding
Oh,
across the
shit.
street. It's very ridiculous. Goodbye, Lobo Studio. Goodbye, all of our viewers.
So,
All 7 of them?
we are down to 2 energy drinks from Japan still. We had 4 to start.
Oh, well.
We are actually at super easy level, which is Monster Energy Drink. It's got a bunch of Japanese stuff on it. Chaos
Those
Monster
are
Energy.
words?
Yeah, with a K. Chaos. And this was
Wait,
the
is
max challenge level, which
Is there
was...
another way to spell chaos?
The K, apparently.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there's an X.
Chaos.
Or C-A-O-S.
Like Tejas. Anyway, and we had the max level challenge energy drink, which is like the completely unknown, no English whatsoever.
That's
We
a
gotta
picture
save
of...
that for TigerCrush.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
then
saw
we'll do...
With the easy one, that's probably just arms use
Then,
while
you
he's
know,
not here.
I realized that Nas Minute isn't as fun without TigerCrush whining and bitching about, oh, this smells so bad, oh, it's awful.
So we're gonna have
Whoa, it's as though he was here just now.
chaos then.
Do I need to wear my mustache so you guys can separate us?
I mean, I would like you to wear the mustache at all times anyway. Especially at work.
Japan's chaos.
Well, I'm not TigerCrush. This actually does smell pretty awful, and I'm not even going to have to drink this shit.
That's it.
Oh man,
Wow.
yeah.
That's
that
like
is-
high C.
And here, I'll give it
Old
to
high
you,
C.
actually, 'cause I'm not
Putrid
gonna-
high C.
Yeah. Okay. I'll set it here.
All right.
Lobos looks unimpressed.
Do we have a toast?
Lobos
Oh,
are
wait, I think I
fabulous.
had a toast.
Do you?
What
I
was
sure
it?
hope so.
I have one.
It was...
I actually do.
It was something.
Well,
Okay,
Bill's
I
got
got
one.
nothing.
Bill has one. Go.
Alright, here's to TigerCrush and his success, I hope, with his phase, and I hope he does well.
Yes.
To TigerCrush.
What the
To
heck
Tiger
is phase?
Crush.
We haven't said that.
So phase is what TigerCrush is doing right now. It's basically a...
Boring.
Can we drink? Yeah.
He's training for Krav Maga to get
Oh
Actually,
my
a
God.
test for
level 2 or level
That
1?
is,
something like that.
Yeah, it's a higher level
That is interesting.
instructor certification.
It's not bad.
Because right now.
It's incredibly sweet.
Yeah.
Did the test happen while I wasn't looking?
Almost like a dreamsicle.
Yeah.
Like I think if Jolly Rancher were to make a dreamsicle flavor, this is what it would taste like.
Yeah.
That
like a
is very accurate.
Yeah. Alright.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Three-
very
three or
sweet.
four? 4 out of 5?
Yeah,
I
I
give
give it
it
like a
a-
3.
3 out of 4 dreamsicles.
Okay.
And
Good.
1 out of 4 nightmare sickles.
But when you combined, that turns out to be 6.5 out of 8
I'm
rainbow
not a math
sickles.
guy. I'm not a math magician. Cool. Hi, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. We're gonna dungeon it up. What's going on? What's happening in the world?
Where am I?
Well-
How did I get here? Who are these strange people?
Well,
Oh man.
let's see.
We
Yeah.
managed to finish up the Red Moon Hunt.
Yeah, we finished Red Moon Hunt.
Yes.
We were at least successful enough for our patron to become a noble, so he got to go to the ceremony,
Yes.
which is awesome for him.
Yes.
And as a method of sneaking Shivram into the ceremony, which we need because we need him to secure the pillar, we had him carry Shivram because that was apparently the only way that we would be allowed to bring such a giant, obvious weapon in to the Sorcerer Queen's palace.
Yes.
And unfortunately, the Sorcerer Queen apparently liked it enough where she decided to request it from our patron, who, of course, this is his goddess.
Yeah.
He handed it over right away.
Of course.
And Toria was readying fireballs.
As Antoria is known
I don't
to do.
quite think
Yeah.
that's where he's
Actually,
going with
that's
it.
not his style. It's hold person.
Oh, yes, whole person
on the Sorcerer Queen.
Oh, actually, and
on
just
the goddess, yes.
for my sake, out of character, the command for unleashing hell was burn it down. right?
Yes.
And then you have to say that.
And Toria has to say that, or he has to be incapacitated.
That's
or
right. I
dead.
forgot about that clause.
That clause may come to light.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That clause is probably going to get us killed.
Relying on Marvin's crystal clear memory of past events, hopefully we'll be able to.
Well, it's only 5 minutes
Yeah.
ago.
I'd like to think that he actually just said that in front of the queen.
No.
Oh dear.
So help me out with one quick out-of-character thing. How do you pronounce this, the Sorceress Queen's name?
La-la-li-Puy.
La-la-li-Puy.
Yes, most people would just call her the Oba, but
Ba with a B or P?
Just obey.
Oba.
Just E-B.
Oba.
O-B-A.
The Oprah.
yeah. No.
Like great, that's like great
It's,
mother.
no, it's like
right?
the Pokemon that evolves into Obama. What?
Where are we going?
It's Oba and Obama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have that Pokemon.
Where did you find it?
At
The White
at
House.
a Target.
Oh, that's too bad.
He's falling on hard
No,
times.
they had something at the White House. I think it was a Hitmonchamp or something like that. Or no, I think it was a bird of some kind. It's called America.
Oh yeah,
I did hear that a bunch of like internet vagrants had taken over the White House
Oh man.
in Pokemon. I figured I should clarify that for
Well,
So-
I believe with Pokemon Go, but
Right.
So, do you remember that in Pokemon that you can upload your Pokemon to a computer when you're not using them? Someone I follow on Twitter today was contemplating whether or not Pokemon Go is what people actually play in the Pokemon games, because that would justify why it is that you can do that with these things
Okay.
that aren't necessarily digital.
Yeah.
Like the idea is that maybe like real animals were just like completely wiped out in this world, and so they're replaced with this AR game that happens in Pokemon.
So what
They
you're
all
saying
have-
is this is like the aftermath of the Leviathan taking out Dark Sun.
Yeah.
we'll see how it works. Is everyone has brain chips inserted, so they see this AR, they see all the Pokemon stuff
Yeah.
in the world.
Well, no. There's specific trainers, right? And then there's NPCs that aren't playing that are like, oh yeah, Pokemon. I've heard of those, right?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean,
This is too real.
it's exciting. It's very. Anyway, that's La-la-li-Puy challenges you to a game of Pokemon.
no one
Alright,
dies
there's no more
in that game.
distractions.
I guess we'll play D&D. Yeah.
Sure.
Fuck, I hate this part.
Oh man. Well, I mean, if you've got more stories, I'm always willing to listen.
I wouldn't mind a little further stalling. I haven't thought of my replacement character yet.
One day we should make good on our threat to just have storytelling time of like, remember that time we explored that level when we were just level 2 and recap all of the events that happened before.
It's like a
we
clip
turned
show.
the cameras on.
Yeah, I'd like to think that you literally just roll that footage for an hour.
It's like the writer's strike episode.
Something like that. I mean, that's the problem.
Instead of us actually explaining. Oh, that's right, because the
That's
early
the problem. We started playing a couple of Septembers ago, but we didn't start streaming until January. So we had that whole. What we did, we had the Alterac attack, and then you went looking for Slither. You found a tomb. This is all on the story page, by the way. If you just use exclamation point story, you can read that instead of listening to me.
So I'm thinking what we could
There's all that
do.
stuff with Slither, like every bit of
What
that.
we could have done was just reenacted it, and pretending it was real, and then we could have sold it by like I'm like wearing a toupee. So they're like, oh yeah, there's
like
a younger.
version.
That bugs me when they show that in movies or TV shows where it's like this person's obviously the younger version of them because it's a young person with the exact same hairstyle. It's like, oh, no one does that.
So is that weirder or makeup or bad CG that is very clearly like a 30-year-old person done up to look 90 because they couldn't find or didn't want to find just an 80-year-old actor? It's always weird.
Yeah. I mean, what they did with Benjamin Button was good.
Wasn't that just actually Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Stolen from the future.
Yes.
And from the past.
By the way, I
Spoilers for Benjamin.
I realized that this has some sort of metallic component in it, which is really weird because
Are you running magnets under the table?
I think something's going on
I
with
always
my
assumed that was
dice
in character.
because I can feel some repulsion here, and I don't know if there's some. Look at that, a one!
Oh, Snake Eye!
Yeah, I think we proved
Pointy
our
stick.
point. Yeah.
Well, that's what it looks like on that die. It doesn't look like snake eyes. It looks like pointy stick.
It's like
No, I said snake
it's like
eye.
a harpoon.
Oh, a pointy stick.
It's like a harpoon.
That's not a classic Western.
No, it's not a classic Western die. It has digits on it.
I thought we talked about this. This is the goat eye, right?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Snake eyes are like
Wouldn't
more
that be-
oval.
I guess
They have a little bit more ovality to them.
that reminds me of the time when we found that key and then none of the other ones.
That was in the catacombs.
That was in the tomb.
Yeah, I know that we found a key, and I don't.
House
Did we ever
bar.
figure out what that was used for?
We have a map that goes with
Yeah,
it
you just
and
saw
has
that.
it has some markings
I
on
think
the
you actually do
locations.
still have the key somewhere. You just don't know where the prop is.
Yeah, we don't know where the prop is. I think
You also
Antoria
have a
actually.
list of bounty targets that Zathus had left over. You do not have a 1,000 gold perfects.
Oh, that's
sapphire.
Yeah.
That's gone, yeah.
Yeah.
You left the quest items, but not the
The
loots.
rogue ran off to spend his money somewhere else. Live like a king with that.
How exactly did last session's end? Did you do something?
Antoria was standing up.
So, I believe the very last thing that we ended on was La-la-li picked up Shiva.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we cut away.
Oh, okay. I thought you had done something.
No,
Well,
he
no,
was very close to.
he was.
It seemed like something like
Yeah,
that.
Yes.
no, he was definitely mouthing things, trying to figure out exactly when to like put air through his mouth.
He
Yeah,
did
it
that
was-
fish out of water thing.
It was like our quest item is just got taken by one of the last
Hold on
bosses.
now.
Well, if you've had time to think up a new character, we'll go ahead and get
Yeah.
started.
All right.
I am La-la-li-Puy. Here's Chevron back.
I don't want this after all.
Yeah.
So how close was our noble patron standing to the goddess when they were speaking last?
I mean, so he would have been standing like 10 or 15 feet in front of her, sort of surrounded by the trophies. The trophies have been whisked away, I think, by palace servants and stuff like that. But he would have knelt in front of her to raise up the sword that he was offering to her as a gift.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah. So he's still just right there, just directly in front of her.
All right, and Toria immediately strides forward towards the sorceress queen, taking one step further towards her than the fellow is kneeling, and then kneels himself.
Okay.
And then switching to Draconic, which is, if I remember right, no one in the party knows that. Although I guess our Thrycreen friend might. We'll find out relatively shortly. Doria says, goddess of the Crescent Forest, former champion of Rajat, guardian of one of the 13 pillars, I beg leave to petition you on a most urgent matter concerning the blade you now hold.
And you're incinerated.
We shall see.
Okay. La-la-li-Puy's eyes widen, and her pupils themselves almost slit-like a cat's, like a snake's, dart at you. And just as quickly, her hand, with the strength of the dragon itself, begins crushing your head. Not like it's smashing, but like something it's like it's caught in a vice. It's like caught in like 5 vices, one bigger than the last one. Like those Russian dolls, those, but like vices on your head. It hurts. But worse than that, you can feel her mind just taking yours and just unraveling it, like ripping the pages out of the book of your memory, looking through your thoughts, looking through the things that you've seen.
Can I make a saving throw to not resist that?
Sure.
Like purposely cooperating with it, even though, of course, the natural instinct would probably be to do the very opposite.
Absolutely.
Alright, I don't know what the bonus is, so I'll just give you the die roll and you can tell me.
How typical of Antoria.
12 on the die roll, for whatever that's worth.
Okay. Compliant as you are, it's the sort of thing where resist all you like. You are literally facing down the barrel of a fully loaded Sorcerer Queen. There's absolutely no resisting her will. You can feel her just darting around every memory that you had. The ruins of Yarmuk, the horror of Yarnath invading your mind, even all the way back to the back alleys of Uruk. Just every bit of it is just. You can see she's almost just rifling through every bit of it, just taking in everything. As well as the vision of the future, the battle of Dust Kraken and the dragon, waging war over the ruins of Athos. And then just like that, your mind is your own again.
Con save to not fall to the floor in agony.
Sure. I think that's reasonable.
Alright, con saves are pretty good. Total con save was a 19.
Fall to the ground.
Well, felt great.
He falls over.
Wait, are you incapacitated?
I don't know if I'm unconscious, but I'm definitely not. Antoria's definitely not having a good day by the sound of it.
Is anyone else doing anything in particular while all this is happening?
Marcus is very visually holding himself back. Like,
Same with.
As soon as he can manage it, Antoria tries to get enough self-control back to shake his head at Marvin. I don't know how soon that is, but that's.
Swor's gonna chitter a bit too, but he's not gonna attack or anything.
Or at least get back up into a kneeling position if that's possible.
No.
Fair enough.
Grazik has wet his pants.
Expected.
And is just like staring at you and just blubbering and just like.
His worst day ever.
It's not great. It was going so well, or so it seemed.
He thought he wanted to win this contest.
La-la-li-Puy grabs Grazik's hair and just sort of yanks him to the side.
Oh.
And looks at you, Marcus, and says, Goliath, how did you come to serve this worm? With a flick of her wrist, she literally tosses Grazik against the far wall, which is like 30 or 40 feet away. You hear a sick as he smashes into the side and basically just spills to the ground.
Marcus will say, I fought well and earned his trust.
And yet, this one who would speak to know me is clearly no mere slave. Do not put on airs with me. Do not think that you can withhold things from me. Blue one, who are you?
I'm Marvin. Pleasure to meet you. As you can see, I met one of your other kind in a different city. I point up to my eye.
My kind! I am the goddess. The queen of the Crescent Forest, the maker of rains. I am La-la-li-Puy, my kind!
How are we getting so many ones without rolling die?
I forget her name. I
He just said
it.
She just said Lily.
Huh?
No, the other
No, not her. It was
Sorcerer's
the other
Queen.
one. I'm trying to.
Oh,
Avalanche
Avalanche
Ray.
Ray.
Avalanche
Avalanche
Ray. Yeah, I'll say Avalanche Ray in Rom. Or was it Nivene? I can't remember. In any case, I had a personal conversation with her. And she stole my eye.
You, bug,
Your Majesty.
what have you to say of all this?
I only just recently came to this city in the hopes to help all of Athos to restore this great vision I had of a world filled with water and what this world used to be, and I wish to turn it back to that. A world of nature and water and...
Reaches down and grabs Antoria by the hair and just... Look at the show. To the dungeons, all of them. You heard the queen.
Is Antoria capable of doing anything yet?
You can sort of stand.
Alright.
Zorak will help you up if you
He
allow
definitely
it.
allows it.
Yeah.
A number of half-giants close in, each of them clearly intending you to follow along with them.
Toria nods as best he can at Marvin, in particular, but everyone, and starts trying to direct the person helping him move.
Yeah.
You watch Antoria as a teacher.
Pretty much, yes.
Decent printing toast.
Is Mogu the show taking us with the half giants, or just the half giants taking us?
Mogi Show is bringing up the rear, as it were.
Okay.
The half-giants seem to know where to go. They are leading you back to the central trunk where there is the grand spiral staircase that you came up in to begin with. But this time you're going down, 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 further into the earth, where the roots are just as grand as the branches here in Sunlight Home. They seem to have carved tunnels and pathways through the earth itself. Everyone give me a perception check on your way down.
4.
I'm taking disadvantage due to recent experiences.
How thoughtful of you. Take a point of inspiration.
Thank you.
I got a 5.
That's better than 4.
18.
It is.
18.
And, natural 1. He's a little out of it.
What's a monster?
Who wants to drink for her?
No one.
Lois usually takes that honor.
There you go.
You detect Marvin.
You.
Zorak, you notice out of the corner of your eye as you're going down, down, down towards what must be the dungeons, a strange path that seems well trod, but seems greener than the rest. It almost seems as though there's like moss and lichens and maybe even like some vines and stuff like that sort of creeping from this path. There almost seems to be sort of a dull blue light coming from further down the hallway. But you can't really get a clear view of it for the half-giant behind you just
I could
shoves his hand into your back.
I could beam this picture to everyone, I guess, using my psychic powers.
Well, you're not really able to get a clear
enough
look
picture?
at that.
Okay.
Move on!
Gotcha.
No stops for bug.
So he's the only one that's with us, right?
Sorry.
He's the only one that's escorting us?
No,
There's like a bunch of half giants and
two half giants for Marcus.
Okay.
There's 2 for Zorak. There's 1 each for the 2 of you. And Mogadishu, who is human, is bringing up the rear.
I will exclaim out loud, no one in particular, I'll say, is this the traditional escort of the Red Hunt victors?
No, this is what happens to people who go against the queen.
Is that? Did you say that?
Victoria
Yeah, I
didn't
will
hear
say
you.
that.
I wasn't looking for your answer, Bugman.
We're lucky
You're eventually
to
brought
be alive.
a circular door. Actually, it kind of looks like a hobbit hole door or something like that. Where it almost seems just like another route, but it has a hatch available with some crude iron bars set inside of it. One of the half giants seems stuck. Moga to show. Pulls out an iron key. Aaron!
Alright.
We're all
In
going
we
in
go.
together?
Yep, go in.
Say it.
We're all in the same cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else there?
It's completely dark,
Oh,
but you have
dark vision.
dark vision, so you know there are some clumps of rags, some filth, and some bones that seem like they were left over.
Oh, good. We found Cade.
Just in case, can I perceive where he stored the key?
Sure.
Nice, 21.
21. You can see very clearly that he's handing it to one of the half giants. Don't let him out. Queen's orders. He peers in. Yes.
One question.
Yeah.
What is to be done with us? We're in prison for how long and for how long?
For however long the Queen wills it.
So
100, 1,000 years if she deems it worthy.
okay.
Assuming you live that long. Ha!
Assuming you live that long. Ah!
I will live as long as I am of service to the Queen.
That's a very narrow outlook on your life.
No.
Is it
Well, me.
I mean, if
But
she decides you're no longer of service, I mean, we saw that with our friend who should have been a noble by now.
Should have been.
Yeah.
Maybe if he had honored the tradition of the hunt, rather than bring along such knaves as yourself.
Toria's trying to grab Marvin's shoulder. I rolled a 20, by the way, on listening check. He's trying to grab your shoulder feebly, but it wouldn't be hard to ignore it.
I'll
Choose
also
to.
reach out to befriend. Do you wish to lose that other eye?
I'm just having a conversation here.
We're in a tight spot. I'm not sure this is going to help.
I'm just trying to get some information. It's okay. I'm done.
Well,
Actually, just one more question.
no.
Just so I
I was
know what
just
to
about to leave.
expect, is there going to be meals down here, or...
If it is the will of the Queen.
Oh, yes, that's right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thank you for staying at Holiday Inn at this branch.
One of your show takes off. A couple of the half giants stay behind.
Okay. So,
Is it easy to tell, to remember which half giant has the key?
I mean,
they all look the same.
He's kind of throwing it up.
you've got maybe like this size of a slat.
Okay.
And they're standing on either side, so you can't really see them or.
But if I saw that half giant plainly in view, would I be like,
Sure.
oh, that guy? 'Cause
Yeah.
he's that kind of ugly.
Yes.
Okay.
So this cell is actually a full-on enclosure, not just iron bars that are
It is
around, like a
full
stone
enclosure,
wall
yes.
sort of thing.
Hobbit hole with iron bars for the door.
Yeah, so
thing.
it's almost like it's like an underground chamber that seems to have been dug out, but it's surrounded in roots. So where there might have otherwise been iron bars in sort of an open area, you've almost got like a tangle of roots with dirt and moss and such hanging down. And there's no light in here, but there are torches in the path that came down.
I'll send a telepathic message to everyone. I don't know if any of you saw it, but on the way here, I saw some strange hallway that looked different than the others and had some kind of pale blue light coming from it of some sort. I couldn't get a clear picture, but I don't know what it is we're here looking for, but does that sound like something?
You're asking me?
I send it to everyone. But yeah, you just hear it in your head.
Were we able
But I
to
can't respond.
You can respond with verbally, but yeah. You
Yeah,
can
I'll
respond
say...
You're allowed to speak.
Is this someone looking for what?
Sending
How's
this to
Centauria
everyone
doing
just so
at
you
this
know.
point?
Yeah.
Talkie late? Yeah.
No.
Oh, no. Okay,
You're
that's what
gonna
I thought.
need a long rest before you're capable of doing
You
much else.
said you were
All
looking
right.
for a pillar, I believe.
Oh,
I don't know if that's
yes.
what. I didn't see a pillar, but there was a strange hallway with a strange light coming out of it.
I mean,
It's
the
something-
other ones did have a weird lighting to it, but I don't think what you're saying sounds like it. Plus, we need, you know, who?
Well, do we want to try and break out of here? And you don't have to respond out loud. Perhaps we'll tap once for yes, tap twice for no. Do we want to try and break out of here, or do we want to
I
wait
mean,
to see what
what's
the Queen's
the
got in
al-
store for us?
What's the alternative?
Marcus is gonna point at the unconscious man, or mostly unconscious man.
Yeah.
He seems to.
Probably.
Oh,
Doesn't respond.
He's either.
I mean,
speaking of, I'll use can I do a medicine check to see if I can aid him at all?
Oh, he died minutes ago.
New character.
Yes, you can give it a shot.
Antoria!
Oh wow, not great. 14.
He's conscious. Not very responsive.
Is there anything I can do to aid that? I guess. Probably not. A massage. With my man.
Ooh, it's alright, it's alright. You did your best.
Yeah.
I mean, I did survive an encounter with the Sorcerer's Queen before. Maybe I can do another one.
So did I. We just encountered her.
I'm talking about it on a more personal level.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that story.
Yeah.
And it's alright, we're also being back to you. Well, needless to say, I guess you're all right about where to store our items, because I don't think that Noble's going to have a home anymore after this.
I think we should rest up and.
I'm all rested.
Well, he's not.
Well,
He's just kind of twitching on the ground a little bit.
Spasming. Yeah.
Twitch.com.
Yeah.
Either having occasional seizures or trying to follow the conversation, not clear which.
Regardless of whether or not we have an idea, he needs to be active and able to help us with it.
I'm going to send another message to Antoria too. What are you good enough to speak? What happened to you? The Sorcerer's Queen did something to you.
Nothing. He doesn't respond in the least.
Well, you can tap.
Marcus is gonna sit with his back against one of the walls and just kind of.
I'll be back again. Can you tap once
Set
to
him
say
up.
if she actually harmed you, or tap twice to say if she didn't?
No response whatsoever.
Alright.
I'm only going to bother asking if I get a natural 20 on one of them.
Alright.
so I'll say. I mean, I'm assuming that we're all talking in hushed tones here, such that the guards
Right.
wouldn't.
Sure.
Um,
They don't seem to be paying you much.
Yeah. So I'll say, we gotta think of something that these guards, like some
Well,
leverage against these guards.
I'm gonna beam back to all of you again. Well, we need to be careful because we are literally inside the Sorcerer's Queen's living tree.
It is actually
Who
a
knows?
sorcerer queen.
Sorcerer's
Yeah, but
Queen.
what I'm saying is,
She could probably hear exactly what we're saying and doing right now.
well, that doesn't matter because we're
Possibly.
dead anyway.
Even the thoughts I'm beaming to you.
We have literally nothing to offer her. We have nothing. So if she wants to, she can kill us. So I think we should be proactive about what we do here instead of sitting here hoping that she finds a use for us. So let's all think, what do we know about this place? If only Antoria or Cade were conscious.
Knowledge history?
Sure.
They make good cookies here, the Keebler elves.
No.
A 12!
12.
It's a tree.
It's a tree unlike any you've ever seen. You've only really heard rumors and legends about the grandiosity of something. It certainly seems grandiose, but as to what else is going on here, you're not sure.
So we did see the Far Heralds here, or seemingly the Far Heralds, but we haven't seen them since. So I don't know if there's any collaboration, or they pose a threat to the Queen and her men.
Remind me again, these Far Heralds, who are they and what is
They're
their
the
goal?
people that drug you underground. right? Weren't they?
I thought those were the Templars,
19?
actually. Out of character.
Sure.
Are you saying that
Victoria
Marvin
starts moving a little
Does
more.
Marvin not remember, or do you not remember?
Starts twitching a little more enthusiastically when you mention the Fire Heralds. It's not sure what he's trying to get across, but he responded to that.
So he seems to think that there are Far Heralds here or something.
Well,
We're on to something, I think.
again...
All right, so Antoria, are you saying that there are Far Heralds here?
No response.
Again, who are these Far
Two
Heralds?
words. First word. Sounds like.
I don't believe you've all explained enough to me to understand.
I don't understand the intricacies either. That's usually Antoria's bit. I just kill them.
There's some kind of enemy we must
They
defeat.
all have some sort of
Natural 20.
affinity to elements.
What can I get for a 20?
I mean, it's been like 15 minutes.
Oh. One word?
Sure.
Wait.
Wait.
That seems to have taken it out of him. He's pretty much
I
more
don't-
out of it than he was.
Antoria-
even.
Pass out unconscious.
Yeah.
Wants us to wait. I don't know how prudent that is. What do you guys think? Should we take a vote?
I'm not doing anything until he's ready.
I don't believe it wise to do anything at the time. We don't know enough to find out what happened to him or
So
what
you
he
just want to
experienced.
sit here and wait for them to
We can-
kill
For
us?
all we know, the Sorcerer's Queen and him might have had some link, or who knows what she did. We don't know. She could have cast a spell on him. She could have... Who knows? It could be important to why we need to wait.
Marcus is gonna stand up and just start, with the aid of his dark vision,
Yeah.
he's gonna just kind of start looking around at the walls to see if there's any sort of like soft spots, maybe if it's like dirt and root, unless it's like so very packed. I mean, even still, like if there are any weak points in rootage. or
Give me
anything
a
like that.
survival check for that.
Sure. As he's doing it, he'll just mention that we can theorize on things that we can do, but I suggest we don't act until
Oh
he's
yes,
ready.
I'm just trying to weigh our options.
13.
13. You don't find a whole lot in the way of like loose stuff. Certainly some spots that are just dirt that are maybe diggable, but you know you'd spend a long time digging,
Sure.
particularly without proper tools.
Can I search the walls for codec frequencies?
Sure. You do whatever you want.
Okay.
While leaving
Are
this
there any
off.
sweet Pokemon here? Is there a gym here?
There's a Diglett.
But
Yeah,
the
dig
show took your smartphone away.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But I mean, prisons usually have pretty intricate horticultures, so maybe someone can hook you up.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah.
But
Hello.
Wi-Fi.
I get some SIGs as well. Well, alright, I guess we are going to wait, unless Marvin wants to do something, in which we're going to try and stop you from doing something. But go for it.
Oh, I was just explaining to you the Far Heralds.
Yeah, okay.
I said that each one of them has like seem to have an elemental affinity.
Interesting.
So
Much like I do.
yes, but more dramatic. Where they were
One way
like
of putting it.
summoning things or summoning rock elementals or summoning big thunderstorms, tornadoes.
Turning into Cthulhu monsters.
Yes.
Interesting. And they're our enemies because...
They seem to have some connection with the pillars that we're trying to get to.
Mhm.
I don't know. Well, that maybe Antori knows. I don't remember what they need it
And
for.
again, you all had said the pillars were what was going to unleash this Dusk Kraken,
Yeah,
said?
so it
and it would devour the earth.
so I think those
Or
pillars
Athos.
were used for
The Athos.
The Athos.
containing the dragon.
Hmm.
So I think that's what it was.
It's still so much to take in. It's almost an unbelievable tale.
Well, once you see it, I mean,
I hope I
if
don't.
we do see it.
Just find the option in the settings menu where you can look through all the FMVs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to play it in character.
sure. After a time, Antoria finally comes to it.
So, Antoria.
Quiet. Just talk quietly.
Can you do anything for him?
I can try again.
Probably be alright.
Massage.
12 medicine check. Probably not. Same as last time.
It seems as though whatever he's suffering from, it's
Fatigue.
No, it's mental.
Brains.
I mean, you're familiar enough with psionics to recognize what she was doing. It's just on a catastrophic level.
Right.
It's like scouter shattering power levels.
It's like Brain Punch Rank 2.
It's like a brain punch, but if your brain was, it's like, yes.
Brain Blender.
Yeah.
So I assume Antoria knows what happened to him as far as
Oh,
remembering.
sure. I mean, you watched it happen.
Okay.
Absolutely.
She read my mind. All of it.
Put it on USB drive.
Probably from the moment of my birth. She knows everything, and I mean literally everything. But he actually smiles a little bit. All is going as planned. If she knows everything, she should eventually aid us.
Wait, why is she gonna aid us?
She doesn't want Athos turned into that ball of ash any more than the rest of us. She read it from my mind for herself. She knows we are speaking the truth, that we're not madmen making it up or lying or attempting to deceive her. Everything she read from my mind is true, and she knows that.
Isn't there the slightest possibility that she thinks you're just crazy?
She would know that.
She would know that you're crazy?
However,
Or that I'm not.
she also knows that you have a great disdain for sorcerer kings and queens, and she
She
also
does.
knows that you were affiliated. Well, actually, I don't know any of this other stuff. So.
Yeah, careful there, but
Yeah.
you're on character 3 there.
Yeah,
Yes, she is aware of that.
and I'm not aware of your history before that, but I imagine it can't be anything a sorcerer king or queen would appreciate.
And tell me how we were going to avoid that once she laid hands on Chivram.
Can't help you there.
Do we need Chivram?
We do.
It's possible we don't, but it's not a...
Why do we need him?
For the same reason we need your mask, apparently.
Well,
You tried throwing it out of the inventory and it won't let you.
Until it was taken by an NPC.
it may have been more prudent to try and get it back after the ceremony, after she maybe stored it somewhere or put it in her quarters or anything like that, instead of
We might not have
directly
had-
confronting the sorcerer queen.
We might not have had access. Besides, I wanted to make her curious enough to do as she did.
Well, good job on that.
Oh, thank you.
So now we're all in prison. What's your solution?
We wait.
Oh god, you also. We just wait.
At least for a while, there's no harm in it.
There is harm if we die.
Other than
Right.
me, we seem none the worse for wear.
They're probably just trying to think about some elaborate way to kill us all.
Well, you appear fairly bad off, but
Still, waiting is not a problem at the moment. We can afford to give it at least another day. See what she does with all she has learned.
What about your telepathic stuff? Can you, tell someone that you need help?
I actually could, because one peculiarity of our imprisonment, unless I'm corrected, is that we were not searched. We were just led in here, and
That's correct.
I actually could make such preparations, though it will take time, and
So who is our greatest ally?
there's only one being I can even think of contacting that might help us, and I do not want to do it.
Who is that?
Well, it's a possible 2 answers depending on how Brendan answers this. How much of a connection do you need to use the sending spell? For example, is a connection to Hamanu possible through our tempo
you have to have
time?
met the person.
Let's review what the
I mean,
plan
I
is.
feel like I've met him through Cade.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm kind of hoping for, because Hamanu definitely made his presence known through Cade a couple of times. Let's see, sending.
Sending
A creature with which you are familiar is what it says.
a creature with which you are familiar.
Where's the familiar definition?
I'm not looking in the index.
I don't think you're familiar with Hamanu.
I might not have Hamanu's
Can you
number, but at the
Well, I mean,
Can you
I think that whether or not you are able to do it comes down to the instant of the spell. I think that I think that's one of those sort of things where the magic works if your connection with that person is as strong as you believe it to be.
I suppose you could get Cade to assist in some way.
In fact,
the Gemstone Man would probably be
Oh, no.
best choice.
Use Cade as a focus.
Although he's not likely to appreciate it any more than...
What about any of your Veiled Alliance friends?
They will not be able to move against the Queen herself. That's the problem.
Yes, keep in mind the walls of the city and just how well defended the city is.
We got it
Yeah,
here.
so, sorry, sending says the creature that you send the message to hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. That implies that you could know someone that doesn't necessarily know you.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to depend on whether you feel like you know them well enough in order to send that message.
Well, the closest connection I would have is the time he appeared in Cade's amulet when Antoria was trying to disguise it. That's probably the closest direct connection.
Wouldn't you be able to, in the message to him, describe someone else that Hamada might know?
I mean, you can send whatever it is that you feel like.
Well, there is a length limit. It's better than message. It's not like a tweet. You get to add like a good Facebook message sized.
Can you add GIFs?
I'll send him a YouTube of like.
No, not a YouTube.
Oh.
It has to be short, so it has to be a GIF.
So like a Vine or
how
something.
long you can have them these days.
Yeah.
Yes. Having no better option for a plan B, I will begin the preparations. It will take some time.
And I refuse to say GIF. Even though just
That's not a word.
So
It is a
Antoria,
type of peanut butter.
peanut butter.
It
yeah.
is. That's all that is.
Interesting. Sending allows creatures with intelligence scores of at least 1 to understand the meaning of your message.
yeah, it's actually pretty awesome
If
for
you
her.
needed to send Lassie a message, then you could use sending to do it.
Unless he could
That's
even
really
respond.
smart.
Well, Lassie might be a 2, but
Yeah.
well, anyway, Antoria will spend the next 8 hours switching out one of his spells for sending.
Okay.
If we're uninterrupted, he'll do it in an obscure corner of the cell, further away from the door. But
All right.
An obscure of the 4 corners. Go for the obscure
I
one.
mean, it's more of a boulder kind of shape.
the furthest end of the border. I guess.
Anyone else doing anything in this ensuing 8 hours?
Sleeping.
Good night.
Being
I
bored.
will actually beam to everyone
For 8 hours.
for 8 hours. If we need it,
The hobbits are going to Isengard.
I can conjure some help as well if we decide to break out, but I'll need a few minutes to do so.
Okay.
That's all I'll say.
All right.
Yep.
That blew for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Marvin, anything else going on?
Nope.
Okay. The time passes. You hear at least once the half giants are relieved and switched out with some other half giants. Not a whole lot of dialogue exchanged between the two.
No food or anything was brought, not even water.
No food or anything like that.
It's not.
I might actually get up and just ping the guard. I'll walk up to the door and kind of peek through. And I'll say, excuse me, Sir Guard. Did we have any thoughts on some sort of food for me and my companions?
He doesn't look over, but he slams a massive fist just into the door. Hope the neighbors don't worry about that. I was testing the mic last night, and I was like shouting into it. I was like, oh, it's like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay. I'll turn back to the guys and be like, well, I don't think we're getting anything to eat. Do any of you? Could you like make food or water?
It's a lost art.
Are you?
And
Are you?
legends, heroes can do such a thing.
I
But
could do survival to find out if... Is this like a
Like, are
3-cell?
you? Don't you like a
Yeah.
fucking water?
The water I make is magical. It
Does-
cannot be drank. I'm gonna actually do survival though to see if I can scrounge for food. Holy shit. Scrounge for food in the shell. I got a 23.
You are absolutely able to do that. You find a root from which you're able to discern could be turned into like a drip, like for a hamster cage. And there is actually some lichen along the wall, which it's not going to be very filling, but it will sustain you.
I do so and show everyone else and bring it over to everyone.
Do you tell everyone you've magically created it?
No, I don't.
Behold, a miracle!
Behold! I won with the spirits.
Yes.
And that case, the failure to deliver food doesn't necessarily mean that we're expected to die here. If they know this is here, it could just mean we're supposed to wait.
Perhaps.
You were told very clearly you're supposed to live. Well, maybe you weren't conscious enough to hear it.
You failed that check.
As long as the queen wills it.
So, are you gonna send out your message?
Given the nature of those I'd be contacting, I'm very reluctant to take that step while we have any other plausible option, including waiting.
Oh, come on, you guys are killing me.
You and I have had direct experience with what happens when you speak to sorcerer kings and sorcerer queens, and you encourage me openly to do it again.
To get another one in the situation, like if she's gonna kill us and he kills, it doesn't matter who kills us.
She's not going to kill us. She would have done that immediately if she intended it.
Maybe
Why wait?
She's just trying to figure out what to do with us. And then she decides that she should just kill us.
It is possible she's trying to find out what's going on from his memories.
You guys are really giving these omnipotent beings the benefit of the doubt, aren't you? Did you see what happened on there? The noble that just won the fight was smashed up against the wall.
He won by cheating, which she learned as soon as she read my thoughts.
But they are
As
clearly
purely
not
semantic, and
omnipotents.
we cheated for
They are
her.
not everywhere at every
But we
place
had
at
a
every
reason.
time. They can't see everything and they can't do everything. They are just more powerful beings than normal.
I did count on her being able
But,
to read thoughts. I just didn't
as
count
you've
on
also
it hurting
seen-
so much.
They are to be respected and trifled with carefully.
As long as we're not starving or dying of thirst, I'm really reluctant to go trying to contact either the Gemstone Man or Hamanu. Neither is likely to end well. It's the sort of thing I would like to do only if certain death is the other option.
Hamano, you
Well,
want to get another sorcerer
I mean-
involved.
Once certain death is at our doorstep, there's not a whole lot we can do. I'm just putting that out there. Your ability to be inactive astounds me.
I understand what we're facing. That's why I can be inactive. We're facing a goddess. Our fate is sealed if it's going to be sealed already. Our
Our
paltry
fate
attempts.
is never sealed. We make our destiny.
I wish to dispatch of those that would hold us here as much as you, but there's a time and a place, and this is neither. Right
I'm not
now.
talking about dispatching anyone. I'm talking about enlisting help from someone.
I would remind you, I am, of course, capable of simply teleporting out of here at any moment.
Well, why haven't you done that?
Because I choose not to. That's the whole point. This is going as I expected it to go, more or less.
Could have told me, so I should stay at home.
Well, I didn't expect this precise
Oh.
turn of events.
So
but
why don't you teleport out, get help, teleport back in?
What
Done.
help? You propose that I sinned. Besides, I'm expecting her to help us. I just wish I knew why it's taking so long.
Although also wonders.
Well, we need to set some sort of limit on how long we wait. There's only so long that we'll have energy to do anything about it.
True. I don't wish to set a hard and fast time limit. Let's take it as it comes, see what happens.
True,
There's
it
no
hasn't even
need-
been a day yet.
There's no need to act rashly here.
Why don't we just talk normally?
I don't want anyone to hear what I'm saying.
I mean, we did all see the bones lying in the cell next to us, right? I can bring them over here if you want to make sure.
I'm well aware.
But
of
I'm
them.
pretty sure that guy just waited.
Again, if we are being spied on...
But he
I'd
had
rather
no
be-
other options. We do.
I'd rather be viewed as a mostly silent Thrycreen who's just keeping to his own for the most part.
Oh, I'm sure that will please this.
You're in the palace of one of the most powerful psionicists in the world. Do you really think you're not being overheard?
I didn't know she was a psionicist.
This changes everything! Prison break!
Burn it to the ground.
I wouldn't worry. You've been behaving normally enough for someone imprisoned. Besides, what she read from my mind is far worse than anything that's been said here so far, probably. She's willing to overlook that. We wait, at least a little longer. We'll see what happens. Unless there are serious objections or interruptions, I guess we just start hitting the pastime button on the Pip-Boy.
Yeah. Rest. 12 hours or something.
You wait. And wait.
Wait, I want to put a limit of 3 days.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot.
Alright.
Burn it down.
That's a lot of days. I would like a limit of 1.5 days.
Okay, that's even
I
better.
can name that tune in 1 day.
I don't know how I would know that, but I can roll for it. It's
probably a survival
Oh, this is
check.
probably 1.5.
You can count the number of long rests you take.
Or the number of times the half giants change shifts, maybe.
Yeah.
I guess just assuming based on how hungry I get that amount of time, like, okay, I'm really hungry now.
Yeah. Maybe a day and a half have passed. Your stomach is growling.
We need to do something soon.
Victoria,
I
teleport out of
mean-
here and get me some food.
So,
Go to one of McDonald's.
so let me ask you a crazy question here,
Yes.
Thripe Green guy,
Yes.
who I forget your name.
Zorak.
I have it written
Zorak.
down somewhere here. Zorak.
Zorak.
Zorkring.
So
Queen
this
Zork.
You can call me Zorak.
this
Queen
lit area. You said it was another tunnel.
It looked
Possible
somewhat
that
like a hallway that was different from the others.
is it possible
More-
that might like lead out?
I don't know about that. It looked like an unnatural light, something that you wouldn't.
So like, what if this place was built on top of old ruins?
Well, it did appear almost ancient or untrodden for a long time, as though it was. Right, it looked like it was pretty much like primal overgrowth or whatever for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
I
It
mean,
looked like it was more primal, as though it had been unkept. No one had been there for a while.
because I mean, we just should at least think of that as an option, as breaking out and going down there and seeing if we can get out.
Again, if we lack this key you speak of, what good will it do us?
I think I could activate it. I mean,
That's-
they've been built for me.
That was my backup plan if something ever happened to Shivram.
I don't believe you mentioned that before. Why
Yeah.
was it built for you? What do you have to do with the Dust Kraken?
Tyler the Butler has donated $15.
Whoa!
Thank you. Thank you, Tyler.
He says, "Kill Marvin."
Well, don't worry,
Watch out of prison already. I'm
We're
bored.
doing our best.
we're working on it.
I'm hungry.
Does this have to do with your blueness?
No, I mean, it just it's hard to explain, but
I just blew myself.
Oh.
Tyler says, been watching the archived videos on YouTube, and the least I can do is a little for the players. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tyler.
Victoria, teleport out of here and get us a Whataburger. Give me a copy of Ratchet and Clank Life.
Your thing.
I don't know. I just when we first saw it, I touched it, and then sirens started going off or something like that. I don't remember.
Other way around. The sirens went off when I touched it, actually. It
Oh, and then I touched it,
It-
and it stopped.
It did not respond well to ordered attempts to interact with it. It seemed to be powered by some...
And then we stuck his
Oh.
sword in it, and then Shivram, the person that talks, went away for some
Yeah,
time.
yes, the sword that talks.
No, I think the spirit went away when it saved him from Kalak,
The sword that talks
No,
is
in
the
any
key, if I
cases.
understand it
I
right.
think.
A key. I think I'm the other.
Actually, there's an idea. I could contact Shivram. That's much safer and might get us some information about what's
But
going
would
on.
the Sionis be able to hear?
She's heard every word we've said if she wishes, and she probably does.
Do you think that she's really like sitting there listening? Don't you have to be focusing on that sort of thing?
I would have to focus on such a thing.
A sorcerer
You would have to
queen.
focus on such a thing. She could do it in her sleep, probably, if she even sleeps.
And Shivram could respond.
He could. There is one thing I'm worried about, though. I did blithely speak of teleporting out of here, but we are in the middle of the Sorceress Queen's palace. Who knows how her or her Templars would react to such an attempt.
Or if
I
you
will
mean-
get
or-
down on the floor and I'll motion you down, and I will write with my finger. Can she read or listen to or hear what we're thinking, or is it just verbal?
And
Like,
Toria
every one
nods
of those
enthusiastically. Well, there's a little light from the hall, I
Okay.
I
hope.
take his hands and I trace the letters.
Speak what I draw.
Okay, that sucks.
Kate gets jealous.
It's like that scene from Ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand
Marcus would
this.
like to just kind of do his best. Oh!
Tyler
No.
Butler donated like $10. $10.
Hey!
Woohoo!
Everyone kind of jumped at the donation sound, and I found that rather humorous. Continue the donation.
Yeah.
That's incredibly generous of you.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Well, it's an exciting sound.
It is a very exciting sound.
Marcus will do his best to try and eye the 2 half giants, presumably, that are on duty, and just kind of
Size them up.
I mean, you can sort of.
no.
They're like 3 or 4 feet on either side of the door.
Okay.
And the portal is very small.
I wish
you can sort of tell that there's someone there.
What's up?
and
I wish I would have
you
taken
can't really
Dominate
see their faces
Mind.
or anything like that.
In general,
That would be
compared
awesome,
to myself, I suppose, for those half giants of similar build.
Yes.
Okay.
And equipped as guards, so no armor but short swords.
You don't have the ability to do anything like that, do you?
I can read minds. I can't dominate them.
Well,
Well,
let's
you can
think.
read
What
their
can, what
minds,
can we
perhaps.
do? Do you have anything? Yeah, you could read their mind while I was trying to convince them to let us out or something.
It's still spellcraft. I'd still rather wait until it's looking very dire indeed.
What does dire to you mean?
Well, it's
Like maybe being in prison by the Sorcerer Queen?
Under the circumstances, that's not dire yet.
As soon as we cast anything, more than likely they're going to descend upon us. There's a good chance they're going to know that.
You make so many assumptions about this stuff. Like, look around. We're already fucked.
No, not yet. That's the
Okay.
whole point.
We are literally within her tree. I believe she can see in...
Zestill donated
Zestill.
$51.
Holy
What?
5-1?
Misdonating for the 50th. 51 works, I guess.
Oh.
Awesome!
Careful, striking down in Toria, he may become more powerful.
I think he's giving Antoria a lot more credit than he's due.
I
Hey!
think you might be right.
Hey, that's from that one movie, though, right?
That's from
Star Trek.
Was it Blade Runner?
Star Trek,
Oh, Star Trek,
Yeah.
right.
the last Blade Runner.
Uh-huh.
Or it's that dude who got arrested after he charged a bunch of cops with a sword. He said he had 1,000 years of power, and he just got tased like instantly.
Oh, yeah, I remember that guy.
I have 1,000 years of power!
Remember when the Coney 2012 guy got arrested for masturbating on a car?
No.
Not Coney, but the guy. The other guy. Coney, I think, is still alive as well.
Yeah, well.
Anyway.
All right.
I've definitely seen... I've seen, like, those Lifetime things of, like, people that make love to their cars.
Well,
This was love. He was
We're-
angry.
Okay.
we're going away now.
Something
Back to
else.
D&D by force if necessary.
You don't want to talk about Carlo?
I don't want to talk about any of this.
Carlo episode is
We're never going to get another donation again. Look what happened to us. We totally lost our minds.
Jeff's going to be so upset when he comes back.
I'm upset and I'm here.
I miss talking about Carlo?
Thanks for tuning in. Oh my god, you're going to read their foot's right away.
So D&D.
For the
No,
entire...
no, there's no
I'm gonna become a famous rapper and make a copyright strike on this episode.
Copyright the donation sound. That'll do it.
Oh god.
No, wait. No! Don't encourage us. What are you doing?
Gunji donated $10. Keeping the donation train going. Finally, we'll watch live after weeks of catching up. Here's some money for the high-quality energy drink review stream. For the side of D&D.
Did that donation go through before or after we
Thank you
started?
so much.
Yeah.
I think that's 2 people.
I think
from
that's the
Marvin
first
Living.
person that ever said something nice about Marvin. Everyone wants him to die.
Sexy Nurse has only good things to say about. Oh, wait, you're right. I should have a tally mark on either side.
There you go.
Sexy Nurse still subscribes to me too, which is sad. Please stop subscribing to me, Sexy Nurse.
Listen,
Anyway, back in our prison cell.
So, God!
Are we complaining about
Tyler the Butler donated $10 because the losing of minds doesn't deter donations. Also, car love is best love, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hashtag Carlo.
It's love. Yeah, so driving on.
Yes, I think someone was deliberating whether or not to send a message or not.
Not yet. A little longer. Say.
You were
Yeah,
doing you were
you were
sizing
also
them
doing
up,
something, yeah.
and I think I was suggesting reading minds while we try to convince them to open the door.
Still a spell, but
It is. Can you do like one of those things that takes 10 minutes? What do you call those?
ritual casting.
Ritual. Is that the same as casting?
Not exactly, but it will still cause as many problems, if not more.
Over the course of 10 minutes.
It's like casting a spell that's slow.
Yeah. That
It's like
doesn't
you're
seem
clapping
very
a
useful.
spell.
Be almost impossible to hide it.
Well,
Patience.
are we going to wait another day and a half?
We'll give
Why
it
don't
that.
we have... He mentioned the tunnel on the way down. That is directly outside and on the way, and potentially not passing by anything, if I remember that. Pretty much. Maybe other cells. Without using magic, perhaps we could try and outsmart these other half-giants and
Yes.
at least do
mean-
something. I'm beginning to wither.
I've got an idea. How about we all draw a number on the ground without looking at each other, and then we look at it, figure out what those average out to be, and that will be our deadline.
With the stipulation, no one can write a number less than 0.
No one can write, right, and that's starting from right now, this moment.
So first of all, Marcus doesn't know how to read.
He could probably make slashes,
I don't-
though.
Well, you'd have to ask him. But
Do you know how to make
if you wanted to
slashes?
write things down-
Okay.
Is it that for me? Oh, I got you. Okay.
Hello.
Alright. So,
Who gets kicked out of
the
door?
first one is... I don't understand what this means.
That's definitely mine.
Yeah, let me.
Yeah, that seems like a Zora bullshit
This
thing.
is just a picture of a fireball.
Yeah.
That's
Let's burn it
marvelous.
down.
So this says whatever the clutch
You think that's too soon?
decides, which is a lot to write.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I was
Sorry, we have one for 2.
I mean, it is dark.
Yeah.
We have one for 2. We have one for, I'm going to go with the smaller one, 6. And then we have one for... I'm going to go with this one says 1.
What?
What?
Hold on.
Show it to the camera here. Can they see that? I don't know. Can they see that?
Little up. Yeah, there we go.
There.
Is it a goat's eye?
It's just like a bunch of gibberish.
That's perfect.
That's
Yeah.
just Marcus.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we have 6 and 2 and 1.
So,
What's the answer?
Squad of truth.
3.
Okay.
3 days.
That's it. 3 days of
3
deadline
days.
From now.
from now.
I thought we were doing hours.
Do you want to redo?
We will wait then.
Time passes.
Alright.
But we will reevaluate if the water and food supply becomes more uncertain.
Yes.
Hitting the 3 days
It's
button.
meager, but there is water. There's moss.
Sark will continue to be your chef.
Your HP and MP are restored, but you're still hungry. That also is from Star Trek.
Marvin has to sleep
Oh,
closest
into
to the
darkness.
poop corner.
The poop corner. That's right. I actually just teleported all to the zone.
Everyone starts wishing they had a Templar with Misty form.
Uh huh. Fuck.
After a day and a half,
Oh.
I'll get you show arrives at the door. You. I could never not just want to say the one who's moving I'm so upset. What have I unleashed on the world?
Experience B.
No.
Stop, you're making
Marvin
it.
Show is kind of Klingon-esque.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah, it's you. No, I can't switch his voice now. Maybe some other character. Queen wishes your presence.
As you wish. Alright.
Door opens up.
And Toria walks out.
Brain food.
As you are running out, I
Not
shout
running,
out.
But
Well, yeah, as you're walking out, I shout out. Remember the deadline. Or timeline. That's what I said. Timeline, not deadline.
Toria nods kind of distractedly.
Shut up in there!
1.5 days.
Toria's following along.
Ah, the voice of reason is gone. Let's break out.
So actually, yeah. The question now that
Party in prison.
now that
Give me a perception check.
now that he's gone, we could effectively just remove his vote.
He was the one that was going to
13.
send the message.
13.
Oh, wait, I was
going
planning
to
on
look
breaking
for it,
out.
You spot the hallway that Zorak had noticed and pointed out to you easily on your way up. And indeed, it does look overgrown, and there's a weird blue light coming from further down that hall.
Is it a pillory kind of blue light?
Give me a investigation check.
Pillar in blue light.
11.
It's too hard to tell from what you see here.
Okay. Possible candidate or just no idea? Okay.
Magic!
Yeah.
I'd say. But it doesn't line up with where you have been told that the pillar is located.
Alright.
You're led back to the grand stair. Up, past the ballroom, past the quarters, up into the solar study. It's noon. You have to squint against the harsh light of day. There's nothing but beauty here. There are flowers you've never seen, plants you don't even know the names of. Elegant collection of scrolls and books, likes of which you probably haven't seen for thousands of years.
Toria's eyes light up even though he's trying to remain at least downcast a little bit, remembering what happened last time.
And sitting in the center, sipping from an ornate crystal chalice, is La-la-li-Puy, sorcerer queen of Gulg. Sitting next to her is Chevron.
Sword?
Not like
Chevron was also sipping
Oh,
on
he's
the
in his
drink.
regal attire.
no, he's like just like leaned up against the desk.
Alright.
He doesn't get a chair of his own.
Oh, poor guy.
Welcome, Cantor.
Toria drops to one knee and is bowing.
Rise.
He rises.
Please, you must be hungry. She gestures to a bowl of fruit where there's all manner of berries and such. Please, eat your fill.
You have my gratitude, goddess. Toria takes a couple of berries, politely eating. He's not scarfing down or anything.
Sure.
He's keeping his self-control.
You revealed yourself very willfully. What did you hope to achieve in such a gesture?
Goddess, I hoped to achieve your cooperation, your aid. You know the severity of our mission and how important it is to everyone.
I've seen what you have seen. I am not convinced that such a vision is a true one.
I can understand doubt, even having read it from my own mind. I doubt it sometimes myself, and I'm aware, as you are having read it, that we do not have the complete picture, and yet, knowing these things, how could I choose not to act on them?
If I were to tell you there's a monster in the woods, he's preying on the villagers, he's eating the livestock, he's stealing the babies out of the cribs, would your reaction be to simply charge out into the forest and slay the beast? Not you. I've seen your mind. No, you would find the cribs, study what remains of what children once lay there. You would find the corpses of the livestock. You would interview those villagers that had survived such attacks from such a beast. Yet you have not in this case. Why do you think that is?
I take your meaning. I take it well. And yet, overcome by the urgency of the task and the original instructions I was given, there seemed no time or place for what you suggest.
And yet, if the vision is true, if Athos is doomed to some ruined future, there are many hundreds, maybe even thousands of years before such a drastic, cataclysmic battle happens. There's some cult, some coterie of maniacs on the tablelands. Yes, they have some agenda. But I've ruled for thousands of years, as have my company, Abalachre, Hamanu, Kalak as he was. Do you not think that perhaps you are chasing such an agenda because it is what you want to do, rather than what you should be doing?
I make no secret of the fact that the preservation of Athos is my goal. This seems to be the most important task along that line. The only thing I can add is that you know, of course, that Hamanu, as Templar, travels with us. This surely indicates some interest on Hamanu's behalf.
Hamanu is like me. He knows this world. He's patient. He wants more than perhaps his share allows. I am the goddess. I reign over the forests. This world shall be green again, as it is my will. You chase cultists, some measure of stability, some preservation of this world, a world which will be transformed entirely into forest because you are sent on that task. Perhaps you should consider, before chasing such chaos in the cities of the world, why? She gestures to Chevron. This is quite the find your supposed noble patron has gifted me with. Tell me, if I were to give it back, what would you do with it?
My original goal, of course, as you know, was to use it to stabilize and protect the pillar beneath this palace. You are not the first to imply that our course is not what it should be, and yet no revelation has been forthcoming as to what it should be instead, only that the current course is inadequate in some way, or imperfect. The creature we met beneath the palace in the middle of the forest between here and Nibene, he said similar things, of a different nature, but it's become clear that there is a strong possibility we do not have the full picture just yet. In truth, I do not know what I would do with Shibram at this moment if it were returned. It seems there is more to study.
The Dust Kraken is an ancient threat, one well contained by my peers. If you truly wish to protect this world, you would do well to consider why is it you have been sent on such an errand now, with such urgency that you have traveled from city to city, leaving only violence in your wake.
You are not wrong. The Far Heralds in every city we have encountered them have used the subversive elements present in those cities to aid them, we thought. But you seem to be suggesting that that is in fact the goal itself. Possibly, at least.
I do not suggest. I simply observe.
It is true.
You would do well to do the same.
And Toria bows rather respectfully.
She turns away. The guard gestures for you to follow.
And Toria follows.
What are the rest of you up to? Breaking out, I assume.
Prison break.
Fireball, fireball,
The house
fireball.
is on fire.
Nothing.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely nothing.
distributing lichen,
Nothing.
giving out water cups.
Counting the days.
Yeah.
Alright.
1.5
Yeah.
days
Days
left.
pass.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
No, after about an hour, Antoria is brought back down by one of the half-giant guards and locked back in.
Well,
I hardly know where to begin.
No, he's asking if you brought any food.
Oh,
We've only got a day and a half left, so let's out with it.
Things have perhaps been different than we imagined. Sorceress Queen did indeed read my mind and has thought over what she saw there and what she observed, but much like the creature we met beneath the palace in the forest, she seems to suggest something is amiss with our current course of action.
Well, I mean, it's kind of in her interest to mislead you.
No, it shouldn't be at all. According to what we heard, she should have been the first to help us, and yet... Victoria explains at length everything
Sure,
that...
you watched that scene.
Yeah, I watched it.
I want it all regurgitated.
Yeah, I don't know. Word for word.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we have the
words.
video
Yes.
archive right
Yes.
here, so I'll
Yes.
just bring it up.
He regurgitates it. He seems to be placing specific emphasis on the fact that our activities, in fact, have destabilized or led to the further destabilization of several cities, although he does also
well, that
say...
doesn't make any sense.
the-
Why would we be placed... Why would my own kin of
I mean,
half-elves
it does make
send
sense.
us on
Irene.
this quest?
From what I understand, it makes sense.
Are you
that
calling my people a liar?
It could be that the Far
There's-
Heralds are using us,
But we're not doing this because of the Far Heralds.
but
They
perhaps
may be using your Pyrene cousin or relative or whatever we want to call him as well.
Or they
he may
lack-
not be aware of the picture.
they lack the key that does something to these pillars. Maybe the key doesn't do what you thought it did. I don't know the full story.
well, I'll be
but
damned. So you're telling me that inaction was the best course of action?
It may be the best course of action going forward. I need more time to think. At the very least,
Did you ask her when she's gonna let us out? Did you ask her why we've been put in jail?
one is very careful
Did
of the
you
questions.
ask her when we're gonna eat?
We've been eating.
Oh, come on.
Give me a
Wait, actually-
perception check.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Okay.
Zorak's just sniffing around at Antoria.
14.
Oh, he's got berry juice.
15.
Hey, that was very deliberately
And Tori, let me smell your breath.
None of you are wearing shirts. He's got like a little fat gut. Someone's been doing very well the past hour and a half.
Antoria,
and does not ask questions.
is there something you want to tell us? You didn't perhaps be influenced to, or otherwise swayed in
Tori
particular?
gives you a pretty disgusted look at the very suggestion.
You have dark vision, and so you can see it.
Yeah.
Looks pretty grumpy. Like usually how he looks when you suggest he defile for some trivial reason.
Wait. Yeah, Tori looks pretty grumpy, just normally.
This is extra grumpy.
Just like big, mean eyebrows.
Yeah, with a side of surly.
Yeah.
Look,
Alright, so
My
are we
suspicion-
restarting the counter, or
my suspicion is we will not be kept here much longer.
what do you suspect it's going to be? We agree to help her do something, and then we get free?
Strangely, she did not directly suggest a course of action other than that we reconsider what we're doing and investigate it.
Investigate what?
That's something we're going to have to figure out, but
More into the pillars?
into the pillars and why we're doing this and what the true purpose behind it might be. And remember, she's not the first to suggest that. The creature beneath that palace in the forest also had interesting words to say in this effect.
Well,
creature
Antoria,
beneath
this
what
was
else?
all your idea. This was all your idea.
It was.
Let's assume we were misguided. What steps do we take to reverse the process and see where exactly these misguidance?
I see
Actions
four
are
possibilities, at least at the moment. We were given Neff's location here in the present. We could go talk to him. We could go to Yurik and see if Lord Hamanu is willing to meet with us and if he knows anything.
I don't want to bring Cade there.
That's
I
Go
would
meet
not be
Marcel's
able to
hurricanes.
stand
We can,
Cade's enthusiasm for...
believe me, I have no love of the idea either, but it is an option. Third, we could attempt to contact the Gemstone Man again and see if he has decided to take any interest in what's going on below him. I have my doubts. Fourth, we can attempt to return to Nivene and capture that rather pathetic looking fellow who called himself a herald and see if we can find more information about them from him. Those seem to be the four options on the table if we want to investigate rather than continue with our previous goal. I'm open to any of them and to varying degrees, but
if the pillars work as
There's also plenty of side quests you guys can do.
yeah.
Yeah.
If the pillars work as we know, then as long as we know that not all of them are all in the same state, then in theory we should be in good shape.
The Sorcerer Queen, did seem rather unconcerned with that element of the problem, as if there were no great difficulty with the pillars in their current state. She did point out that a significant period of time passed before the future we saw. I admit I'm not entirely certain of our course, but I do think we will be let out of here eventually, probably sooner rather than later. Let's see if that comes to pass, and then we can decide on our course of action once we've gotten ourselves back in some semblance of proper order. At the moment, though, it seems we are to wait a bit longer.
Did you bring any berries back for us?
No,
I see you just ate them all up there.
I did not eat many of them at all, but one does not refuse the Sorcerer's Queen's hospitality.
Boy, it's just a pity none of us were given any hospitality.
Would you like to complain, perhaps? I'm sure those fellows would be happy to take your
No,
complaints to
I
her.
just find it interesting that the man who's making the decisions happens to be the man that conversed and ate with the Sorcerer's Queen.
I've made no
Sorcerer
decisions.
Queen.
I've
whatever.
laid out options. We all voted on how long to wait. Nope.
Don't know why you question the apparent leader of this group anyway.
Oh, what? So you're just telling me that it was literally his idea for us to do this whole quest, and then now he's backtracking on it? So you're asking why I'm questioning him.
There's no particular difficulty with questioning it. There's a lot to question right now. When you see the path before you is not what you thought, it is wise to question why it is so. That is what I do here. But we have much to think
You're
on.
not under a spell, are you?
If I was, do you think I would be able to admit
What
it?
is something that only Antoria would know?
Are you
What is the... Alright, what is...
Sorcerer Green Red Hair
What
is
is...
mine!
What is the... Shut up, Marvin doesn't think like that.
Yeah.
What is the name of our alter ego?
Our alter ego.
Alter
I remember yours is... Oh, that ridiculous sounding name. Jermaine. I don't remember his. He doesn't use it as often. It involves that ridiculous finger mustache. Do you really think that fools anyone? By the way, either of you?
What fools anyone?
By the elements, never mind.
Wait, did she talk to you about our disguises also?
No, she most certainly did not. By the goddess, I hope she's not listening now.
Oh, there she had a mustache.
She comes out.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I am Lolly.
Lolly Lulu.
Little Lulu.
Alright, so we're
Marcus.
waiting another day and a half, I guess, which would bring us to our original deadline.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. About 3 or 4 hours pass before you guys hear something peculiar. There is a bee in your room.
Oh.
Where is it located? Right in reference to us.
Zorak will attempt to catch it.
Wait, if you start making obvious motions for
You
that,
swallow a bee.
Oh, okay.
let it out. Don't eat it. Please.
The bee turns into a snake.
Well,
You have taken a great risk. But can you truly aid us?
Future. It's worth any risk. Oh, sorry, I was just eating 5 fried cream.
Sorry, I
Apologies.
didn't have time to realize what he was about to do.
Oh. Oh. We are in the palace, at least.
That's for certain.
Have you engineered some means of escape?
To be honest, I'm expecting to be let out.
By me or the Sorcerer's Queen. Sorcerer King. Whatever, I don't know what the term is.
By the-
Sorcerer Queen.
By the
Yeah.
Sorcerer Queen, actually.
Why would she let you out?
She read my mind and is fully aware of what we are trying to do.
Good gravy. That's not a very good.
It's a very bravely,
gravy!
it's a very bravely second reference, but I don't
Well,
even know if you intended that.
You know, I love video games.
If
she is aware of your purpose, then what hope is there?
I
Well,
don't understand. She should have helped
goes
us.
deeper than that. She's convinced him that our goal isn't what we want to do anyway.
Not convinced, but she was not the first to
She's
imply.
planted the seed of doubt.
She wasn't even the first to do that. It was that wraith or whatever beneath the palace. He implied what we were doing was only a half measure at best, and now she suggests it may not even be the right course of action at all. And while I realize who and what she is, believe me, I know that as well as anyone. But she has no more interest in that future coming to pass than anyone else. Why would she risk it?
It is entirely in her interest to keep you well clear of the column. You have seen what our Templars are capable of, the binding of nature spirits. The column is what allows her to do such entrapment. The spirits that allow her to control the force, the winds, the rains. Their prison is the column.
That I was unaware of.
Sealing, stabilizing, the magics that will keep the creature fed may well unleash whatever spirits she has kept trapped here beneath her palace.
That is interesting.
Indeed. I know not what unleashing them will spell in terms of the fate of the city. It will disrupt her rule and allow the forest to flourish once again, to advance towards a distant future. World blue, I have so dreamt of.
I see.
We must act soon. She may well simply decide it's not worth keeping around.
I hand out these things again. I think we should take a vote. We're voting.
This is not the city of sales. What are you doing?
We are deciding whether or not we're destroying the pillar. Or not destroying it, but you know what I mean.
Using the key on it.
Before I could do that, we've seen a lot of pillars and whatnot at this point, and Tori's at least studied two of them relatively closely. Based on the ritual he saw, being an abjurist and the pillar experience, how likely does he think it is that this will actually happen if we disrupt the pillar?
It's difficult to say based on just this guy giving you this report. You'd have to make a closer study of whatever it is that's going on. However, these pillars have done uncanny feats of magic. It's certainly within the realm of possibility that if Sorcerer King or Queen discovered one of these, as it seemed like Cielba had, that they could wreck some ridiculous kinds of magic with it.
Let's see. Toria's staring at his slip in frustration and hasn't seemed to have written anything yet.
Do we want to give the... Or is it still a snake, or did it morph into something else?
Awakesh is still a snake.
Do we want to give Snake a piece of paper?
I think we know his answer.
You know his vote.
Well, then we'll just tally that for...
Even presuming we wish to do so, she has the sword. Without it, we can do nothing with the pillar to begin with, probably.
Again, I don't think that's true.
It's possibly not true.
Well, why don't we deal with that when we get there? Like, worst case scenario, we go there, we can't do anything, and then we leave, hoping that there's a way out.
My vision simply saw you. I cannot say whether or not the sword is integral.
I am myself wondering if it is, but a lot of information has come my way in a very short period of time. I'm just not certain of the right
Well, I
course.
didn't want to stretch it out over multiple episodes.
Understandable. And you,
The sword has proven a great ally, regardless of its usefulness in disabling the pillars. It's been a tool of my...
How do we
What,
retrieve
what about this? We continue down our current path for now, and then once we leave the city and get safe, then we can figure it out more. But surely one more pillar falling isn't going to spiral out of control.
10 minutes later.
famous last words.
so I think I'm starting to piece this together perhaps a little bit. If the Sorcerer Queen is indeed using the pillar to secure her rule here, it would explain why she would be reluctant to aid me even with the future she has seen. It wounds me to even ask, Alkesh, but I must know. Do you think it would be possible to secure the pillar without releasing the spirits within?
I know not. I'm devoted simply to the future that the elements have shown me, and the course of action that they have dictated.
I would love a future that you speak of, but if the choice is between the future of Ash and what we have now, rather than that being a choice, even what we have now is better than what I've seen. But if you do not have the answer...
I trust in the elements. Our destiny is written. You shall act as has been foretold. Cast your lot. Let us see.
Well,
So I just want to remind you of who put us in prison and who didn't put us in prison.
First good thing Sammy's done for us.
Aw. Well, he writes like a whole thesis there.
Zesper reminds us that she also did not put us in prison.
Oh,
Yes.
good.
But did she break us out of prison?
You know,
Maybe.
not yet.
Not yet.
Did our
Okay.
our friends
If you wanna,
depart?
do you wanna?
No, he's still there. He's
Oh.
waiting for you guys to break
Well,
out.
why don't we give him the slips and he
Sure.
can make the judgment?
alright. Are these all of them?
Yes.
Everyone voted? Alright.
I'm so glad that Cade's not here because now I feel like I have.
So, I don't know if you get mine again, but mine's not a normal vote either
Oh,
again.
Lord.
Hey,
One-
this time I did different.
One for secure the pillar.
One for Gryffindor.
Wait,
I
wait,
like-
secure. What does secure the pillar mean? Does that mean?
It means, that was my vote, it means use the sword on it.
Okay.
One for this is just a claw mark.
Yeah. Zorak just slashes it and says, I vote for aiding nature and providing this future that this one speaks of.
One for aiding nature. Things are going well.
Uh huh.
Hungry.
One is literally a thumbs up.
Marcus, what did you vote? What did you intend to do?
It was a clear question when we asked it, but I vote for securing the pillar.
For the future.
I vote for thumbs.
And one that simply says destroy.
Which I guess is securing the pillar. So I think we're all in agreement, which is good.
In the end, she only gave questions. I gave her the evidence of a lifetime. She only asked questions, gave no evidence of
You're
her own.
finally thinking for yourself, Antoria.
I was thinking for myself the entire time, but it's
Still-
not a matter to
Thinking for
dis-
yourself, but depending on others. That's
Still-
your major failure.
Typical lich.
We all agree we should look more into what we're doing, the effects
Yes,
it has
but let's
But,
continue on our route for
After.
now.
after this.
well, we've decided, but the question remains. We're still here.
Indeed.
We know which one of them has the key, if you can do anything about that.
I do. But be aware, once I begin, there will not be much time. For the future. Turns into a V.
Antoria, do you have any battle cry?
Same as
The V
same as
flies
before.
Out of the door. Turns into a big wolf. Half Giant's like,
Are they fighting officially?
yeah.
Can we, I guess initiative for us if we're gonna do something, or
No, so what's gonna happen here is
The wolf dies.
Prescripted, prescripted event.
Yeah.
okay.
So one of the half giants is basically torn to shreds. The other basically just like manages to crawl a little ways away before the wolf just tears its throat out. You can tell that some terrible wound has been inflicted upon Alkesh. He comes trotting back over with the jingle jangle of the keys caught in his throat. can tell that maybe for the first time in years he's transformed back into his human form. The door slides open. You see a greatly emaciated, greatly unkempt, just dressed in the barest of rags wizard.
You also see Alcash. Sorry. Everyone else makes that joke. I get to make it once.
I try not to make fun of skeletons. They can't help the way that they are. Their undead flesh hanging from their bones. The pale green light gazing from their eye sockets. Okay. The joke is the Natori is a lich.
Yeah.
For more, see episode 5.
Yes.
Go.
And medicine check real quick?
Yeah, Zorak will rush to his aid.
Yeah.
Never mind. That was a...
I didn't agree either.
well,
I got a 12.
12 seems pretty badly,
You guys, he did say we need
I'll
to get
ask
going.
You, should I heal this one?
If you're gonna do it
do it
fast.
quickly, but we need to go.
Okay, well then I will. I'll go ahead and cast Cure Light Wounds on him, beefed up.
his eyes pop open. No. What have you done?
I healed him.
This is... No, you've... The vision is very clear. I set you free and I died. And then you... No! Beats you away and begins raving and screaming as he runs down the hallway.
Which way?
That's a good distraction. Let's
Yes.
go.
Down the road.
He's going down.
Okay.
The pathway towards the column is back the other way.
Then we'll go towards the
over
column.
Let's do that.
I saw the light this way. I don't
Wait,
know if it's
is it
actually
the column? Yes.
I don't know if it's actually the pillar, but it's the closest thing I saw to something different. Tromp, 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 tromp.
Yes.
Right.
You arrive in the side path that seems to have been overgrown, lush, as it were, lichen, vines, flowers, even like little berries and stuff. It's nuts. And sure enough, it emerges into this enormous room that is lit by the blue light of one of the columns. And the rest of the room is, as the others, made of some sort of dark gray metal. Clangs almost to step on. There's strange lights surrounding the whole of the thing. Some strange process is happening there. Some uncanny magic. But likewise, there's overgrowth. There are roots, vines, flowers everywhere surrounding everything, covering everything. And everywhere also there are these strange, pale, morbid-looking cocoons. These little sacs almost that seem to glow with primal energy. Almost like eggs. Or cocoons, as they were. Some sort of spiritual power within. Yes, what were you saying?
Arcana check to try and figure out what's going on in this room other than the pillar.
Absolutely.
Alright. Still not bad. 18?
18. So, how best to put it? It feels almost like an incubation chamber or something like that. It definitely feels as though something's been sealed here. It's almost another prison, as it were, with lots of tiny little things that are seemingly forcibly asleep within their tiny little cells.
I don't know if a 21 on a nature check reveals anything else.
It doesn't reveal anything necessarily about the sacs or anything like that, but you can tell that whatever energy it is that's coming from that is causing the overgrowth, particularly centered around those things. There's incredible just lushness that seems to be responsible, maybe even for the incredible overgrowth of Sunlight Home itself, which remember is just an enormous tree.
So Marcus rolled a 1 on to conceal snagging some berries along the way and eating them.
Okay.
Turiak just kind of gives you a look but doesn't say anything. I mean, you've eaten them already. What's the point? Just shakes his head and... So, with that Arcana check, can I make another one to determine the connection between that phenomenon and the pillar itself?
Sure.
Alright. Well, gotta roll on the table though. 13.
13, I mean, they're so proximate that there must be some kind of connection, but what it is and what doing something to one thing will do to the other. You're not certain.
All right.
If we do this, it could have some disastrous effects upon this forest city.
That's the least of our concern right now.
Is it?
Yeah, yes, it is. We should find a way out, and we should activate this and leave.
Well, I know the way back above. I was taken there, but
Well, I don't think we want to go past her throne. Like, that might look suspicious if we just walk past her.
she wasn't there when I left. But if we want another way out, we're going to have to find it.
If chaos ensues, then she will have to be busy herself to jump to action. Perhaps in the chaos, we could potentially try and find Shivram and
But what
get out of
chaos?
here.
There's only two groups.
Shivram was at her
chaos.
very side the last time I saw him.
Well, we do need to move fast, so let's make a decision. Do someone want to run down there and see if they find a promising exit?
There's no need for discussion. Venturia gestures briefly and Tanger appears out of thin air. Seek a way out. Be quiet if possible. And don't go the way I went. Yeah, I have telepathic communication. He knows where I went.
So I'm going to put my fingers on the pillar and like an arcane sort of like this is obviously
Like a
the
raptor
way I
claw.
gotta do it.
Yeah.
And like touch all my fingers wide, flayed out,
Sure.
and be like,
You're gonna hack the internets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Unix system.
And Toriel will be watching carefully to see if he can learn anything by any response to what he's doing or by what he's doing.
Sure, absolutely. Well, as a matter of fact, it does respond to your presence.
Yeah.
It seems as though it sort of warms up and there's
Yeah.
little sparks of energy sort of coming and
Okay.
attracting to each of your fingertips.
I'll say, all right, I think I've got it turned on. Now I just gotta deactivate it.
Are we sure that's what Shivram's been doing to them?
What has Shivram been doing?
They didn't look deactivated when we interacted with them
Each of
before.
them has looked a little different.
Okay.
Memory didn't remember.
So I know that you specifically went and looked up an episode, so it's worth just putting it out there. The stated purpose of these things is actually to be active.
Yeah, they shouldn't be
in a
deactivated.
stable means in order to pull magical energy from the world around it and feed the residue to the dust kraken.
Okay, well, and Tori explains that no, we need them to be active. That's their whole purpose.
It's kind of like it's almost like a solar panel that also works as an IV drip.
Okay.
I don't know if this will be possible. I have no
So
understanding.
you want me
of
to
these.
activate it?
Not exactly.
Okay, well explain what you want and I'll try to do it.
That's what I'm getting to.
That sounds reassuring.
Sounds like a programmer.
Yeah.
I want it to continue doing
Tell me what you want.
Continue
doing everything that it's doing right now,
Okay.
but accept no further changes. The way it is now, it shall be forever.
Okay. I'm going to try to tighten up
Well,
the harmonic dampeners
Wait,
on it.
wait. One thing to check first.
Okay.
See if you can identify the current activities it is performing.
Okay. I'm going to slide my hands down it
Okay.
to the base of it
Yeah.
and think, all right, what's going on here?
Give me a charisma check.
Okay.
This is not necessarily.
Wow.
Oh my god. You've done this before. You can have advantage.
11.
Oh, you have advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be one.
Good
now.
roll.
Just it might be. Just to clarify,
Oh, no,
this is
better.
not like a handsomeness check.
24.
A
Yeah.
Marvin
Will.
willpower
Yeah, okay.
kind of thing. 24.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
You open Task Manager.
Oh.
Oh.
Seems as though you're trying to stabilize.
Someone's got a Trojan horse in here. That's not right.
So it seems as though, based on what you've identified these things previously, that it is gathering magical power and that it seems to be operating successfully in that
Okay.
regard. However, it seems to be redirecting that residue towards the imprisonment of these creatures rather than feeding it to whatever lurks beneath the depths.
All right, so I'll explain that to Antoria, and I'll say, hold on, I think there's something I can do with this. I'm going to see if I can siphon off some of the power for myself.
Okay.
Wait.
But you don't know what I'm doing.
No, he's
I have been watching him though. I don't know if I
Yeah,
can
I'm just kind of like doing this sort
You've been
of thing.
saying bleep, bleep,
No.
bleep, bleep.
Yeah.
I'm still a pretty experienced arcanist. It might be worth something. We'll
Sure.
see. If I
I
mess
mean,
for a roll-
the way I envision Marvin doing this is akin to watching a guy on Star Trek fly the
That's
Enterprise.
absolutely what it
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
It's a very, if it is a computer, it's like the Minority Report computer,
Yeah.
where it's literally,
No. I mean more like.
but it's more like Star Trek in that it's so esoteric that you can't really.
So I don't
tell.
necessarily mean like the. I mean more like the actor doing it, where they're kind of just making shit
Oh yes,
up.
yes,
Right.
yes, that's absolutely the case.
Okay.
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 Yeah. So I want to try to siphon some power
Yeah.
off.
Give me another check.
Okay. I have inspiration. I'm gonna use advantage on that.
Okay.
14.
Double 14. So I got 23.
And is that all you're doing, or are you trying to do that in addition to an Antoria?
So for right now, I'm just trying to siphon off some power.
Okay.
Like, so I had determined that it's feeding this power to those
Yes.
things, and I want to say to redirect that to me,
All of it or a part of
a
it?
part of it.
Okay. Okay.
I don't want anyone to notice.
That's fine. I kind of figured.
You start glowing.
It's like-
You place your hands on the pillar and begin maneuvering the energies as you begin to interface with what it's doing. And you feel like, yes, I can take this and just a thread here and a bit here and a bit here and just save that for myself.
Cool.
You feel as though you've succeeded in your aim.
Great. All right.
That's a very Marvin thing to do.
yes.
It's a point of inspiration.
Okay. I will say it's no good. I wasn't able to stabilize that, but I have one more thing I can try.
Well, wait. So, if I understand correctly, right now the pillar is simply using all of its power for this.
To feed off, to feed
not even
these
feeding.
pods.
It's not even feeding the dust kraken. No wonder she didn't want it interfered with.
So she was lying, you're saying.
Clearly. Redirect the power to the dust kraken and then secure it against further tampering.
Okay, I will do that. I guess another. I'm not going to use my inspiration.
He only cared about
A
getting
14, so that's 23.
My goodness.
Well-
You're an old hand at this
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So you're able to find what you think are probably the original protocols for this thing.
Yeah.
And sort of taking some of the strands and connecting them there and there and there and there until there's maybe a 50-50 split of magical energy passing on as food for the mouths of thirst, all Othra, who sleeps deep beneath the earth, or the Apis.
I did the same. Yeah.
That's what I was definitely referencing.
Yeah.
Callback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the remainder seem to be linked up with the others of the cocoons, the eggs that seem to be containing the primal spirits. If you're thinking about this correctly, it seems as though any extras that would have been spent on imprisoning primal spirits are now directed to the Dust Kraken.
Okay. I'll turn to Antori and I say, pretty sure that I've got exactly what you wanted. And then I'm assuming that was the prevent further tampering as well, rolled into that?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So far as you can tell, I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to know whether or not La-la-li-Puy would be able to do this herself, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, it seems like you sort of have this sense that it's the Pyrene-ness of you that allows you to interact with this thing. It feels almost like a destiny of some sort.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, I'll
Available.
report my report my success and say we should move on before we get caught out here by the sorcerer.
What do
queen.
we wish to do about Chiffron?
I have an idea about that, but it will involve leaving him here. Remember, he was able to leave the sword before. We reclaimed him afterwards. We're hoping for that may be our best bet at this point. I don't know how we could reclaim him from the Sorceress Queen's own solar.
Also, at what point would we come back here? You may be able to... You said earlier you could escape from the cell. Was that using that one spell you've used before? Perhaps you could quickly...
How far is it to the Sorcerer Queen's solar in terms of distance in feet?
stories up from where you're at.
So 150.
Yeah, 150.
I can't believe you're thinking about pop. The risk is just too great without knowing if she's there or not. If she's there, that's my death.
You have your friend, perhaps.
Yeah, Marvin.
I don't think Tanger can quite carry that, but
I don't mean carry, but
See if she's there.
quick
Well,
scout.
he hasn't found the exit yet, as far as I know.
No, actually, he's having a rough time given the order of don't go the way that you went. It seems as though there's a main pathway, and he seemed like some sort of a crazed madman with no clothes running around. But
Okay, I will telepathically communicate with him next time he gets into range in his wanderings. I'll ask him to check the Sorcerer's Queen's solar.
It's but food. Food is meant to be devoured or thrown away.
All he has to do is see if she's there or not, and if Shabam is there.
takes off.
Alright.
Starts heading up. Notably notices some guards coming down the steps, perhaps to relieve their fellows.
Got
They
trouble.
don't seem to be alerted. They're just headed towards the dungeon area.
Marcus will investigate these cocoons and see if there's
Sure.
any change.
Inventory holds up a hand. Guards are coming. Replacements for the others. They're not alerted yet, but we may have a real problem. So they'll pass by the current location we're in, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they'll pass that junction.
Yeah.
That's that.
You guys are still in the
Well.
pillar room, as far as I know.
We can try and surprise him.
Maybe best just to wait for them to pass and then head on out of here. It's the only route we found out anyway. We're going to have to go eventually. How far is the distance between the junction and the prison?
From where you guys were?
The prison and the junction where the pillar, not where we are now, but the junction where you get to the pillar room that they're going to have to walk by.
And their supposed destination, which is where you guys were locked up?
Yeah, assuming that's their destination.
Maybe like 30 or 40 feet.
What if we?
Is it around the corner at least?
It's very around the corner.
Okay.
This is it's like a tree root, so there's lots of just bends.
Okay, so they'll have to almost get there before they realize something very interesting has happened.
And mind, there are torches, but it's very, very dark down here.
Alright.
What if we killed them and took their outfits and then used them to disguise ourselves?
Has half giants? We're running out of time. Let them.
I am really good at making disguises.
Cantor passes the ballroom where the initial prey was.
Giving birth to
Alright.
Jared
Keeping
giant
a mental eye on that.
Sure.
I can either try to hold them and we kill them, or we can simply let them pass and run by the other way once they're around the few of the corners. I recommend the second course. It doesn't draw attention to us.
Well, it does when they start shouting that the prisoners have escaped.
We'll already be well on our way to escaping by that point. If I use magic, that may draw attention to us in a way far
Didn't
more
you already
dangerous.
use magic? Didn't you use magic?
Actually, that's true. You did.
What do you use?
Cure light wounds.
Oh, that's right. Someone cast a spell.
I did.
That's fine.
I asked first, though.
But you were not an arcanist. They may be watching for my Tword of Magic.
But he did violate the burn it down rule.
Yeah, he did.
No, I asked.
Oh no, I just said it!
No, I asked first.
That was an exception, and it was not aggressive.
Tantra arrives in the solar.
Sorcerer's Queen there?
She is not.
Is Shivram there?
Chevron is.
Dear gods, I must be the biggest fool that ever lived.
Yes.
Trying to hide it from who knows what. Shit. And Toria will cast...
So I just want to make a note. This is the most Bill move you've ever
It's definitely a Bill move.
I started this, by the way. I just want to mention that.
One moment.
It's true.
Well, my character sheet. Have you?
I don't want to stop you. I just wanted to point that out.
My name at the top.
Bill Thurdos. Nice.
Did he already pass by the way back to like the entrance to that we were in before, the ballroom or whatever?
Yeah, that was a couple floors now.
Okay, so we know the way out. We've secured that. He doesn't see the Sorcerer's Queen. Did he see any activity anywhere on the way up at all?
I mean, there were guards coming down.
Guards coming
There's
down.
Some guards just standing guard, but they were just at the main entrance. There's actually not a lot of guards inside the palace, because why would there be? It's La-la-li-Puy's palace. Who would
Right,
who would be so bold?
You have to get past this first as well.
Besides, her strongest enforcers seem to just appear out of the woodwork.
Well, they do, don't they? Looking, do we really need it? This is an incredible risk.
It is one of our comrades.
I proved we didn't. Now, whether or not we want it is a different issue.
It's possible that we could learn something from Shivram's spirit, if you want to call it that, about the mission.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if it's also a pyrane.
Who knows?
I mean, how else would it be able to interact with those things?
I don't know how any of
Would
this
you
works.
leave someone behind who has helped you so far?
No, I would not.
I'm gonna.
Toria,
I feel like it's
definitely keyboard cat
Yeah.
time.
fitting. Yeah.
Toria quickly takes out a deck of cards from his loincloth that he very painstakingly
what?
made over the course of 6 attempts
Okay.
at arts and crafts rolls. He looks around at the party, and AFK flag Cade is not here. So second in command on that list, he hands it to Marcus. The next one like I that you meet, give this to him. Keep hold of it until then. It is the most valuable item you have held except for Shivram. Promise me. He looks pretty serious.
I'll do my best.
We'll have to do. It's all we have in this world. Why is the dead character music playing? What's this bullshit?
That's not dead character.
Yes, it is.
No,
It's totally dead character
Absolutely not.
music.
It's the Gulg City soundtrack.
Oh, sure it is. I heard that sad flute.
All of it is just sad flute.
Alright, I'm gonna try and do this in the most sane way possible, because of course I am a Mentoria.
Of course.
I'm gonna start casting Dimension Door with the intent of Dimension Dooring up to it. I don't need line of sight. I only need to have been there before to be able to describe it in geometric distances and such, which I've been there before. I was just
Sure.
there, and I've got Tanger looking at it anyway.
Yeah.
I want to prepare as quickly as possible to cast Dimension Door again to return to my present location holding Shivram, with as little delay between the two as possible.
Okay.
This is what he is focusing his entire effort on.
So he's gonna use a ritual.
No, God, no.
10 minutes later. So what does he mean? The next one that comes.
Victoria too.
What is?
It's too meta.
His son.
No, just the next wizard he meets, presumably.
I'm Jermaine. You have something of mine. I'll buy it at the high price. Are you giving me an Arcana check or something like that to prepare?
Sure, he'll make an Arcana check
Would you
with
like inspiration?
using inspiration. I'll take your inspiration. I might need mine in a minute for other things.
Fair.
I will use the inspiration
Timer
from
start.
Marcus to prepare this double dimension door nonsense. I got a 22.
Okay.
Not-
You think that given the prep and the severity of the situation, you could probably cast one of the two as a bonus action.
Okay, that will probably do. Alright.
Note that technically, I think you can't use someone else's inspiration if you already have it. You have to burn your charge.
Oh, okay.
But inspiration is a
It's
player
cross.
mechanic, not
Yeah,
a
right.
character mechanic.
Yeah.
So if you two are on different sides of the world, you could still give each other inspiration.
Okay, well in that case I'll, yeah.
In fact,
I think someone
I'll-
gave you inspiration.
someone
also.
did, and of course it was Wyvern Slayer.
Okay, so I'll use mine,
$5 to
take
say
yours back,
we
and
will
I'll
miss
use
you,
mine.
Victoria.
Oh.
What's up?
Wyvern Slayer says we will miss you, Victoria.
Yeah, I'll miss me too. Alright. And then to complete the picture, he's going to try and sleight of hand the one he's casting down here. He won't be able to with the one upstairs because his main priority is just to get it over with as quickly as possible.
That's fair.
But this one he will try, and now I will accept your inspiration.
Okay.
Lag. Oh, it worked. I think it worked.
Got a 21 on hiding this, and it's also verbal only if that matters.
That is fair. Stream is dying. Hang on.
Oh,
It
wait.
started dropping frames for some reason.
That's not the
Okay.
only thing that's dying.
Well, he won't die. He's a lich. So
That's
you know,
true. He's already
He'll
dead.
be undead. He'll just reform in his phylactery.
Audio is usually good, but yeah.
And if I recall, phylacteries have something to do with kindergartens?
Yes. Are there any Pokemon around here?
Kind of like.
No, that was oceans. Oceans have something to
Make
do
sure
with
you check,
kindergartens.
the Sorcerer Queen's.
It was a phylactery for sure.
For Pokemon. Oh, it's a Jigglypuff!
It's a Mewtwo. I've got to get it.
Seriously.
Goes back and it's like filled with Pokeballs.
If this was a Pokemon RPG, that would totally be what Chevron is. It's a Mewtwo in this case.
I don't understand why every single time I log into this, everything's 2 or 3 steps away.
My GPS is usually pretty accurate, but
No, I mean these things.
Lois,
It
you
always-
Yeah, you need some help, I think.
you need help.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna get something.
Oh, I wonder if it's Pokemon Go that's disrupting this. I don't know.
This is upload speed.
It is. Like,
Yeah.
it might just be Twitch.
Twitch or your internet. One of the two.
I'm not doing anything different other than playing sad flute music.
Yeah, but your internet provider, who knows what they're doing?
I don't know.
What are
The
they
moment has
doing?
passed. Literally everyone has gotten up from the table and left.
Oh,
What's gonna happen?
Polo's here.
Polo, what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Like I said, usually audio is not affected, so they should hear us pretty clearly. But all we can do is hope that it clears up soon.
Okay. We'll wait for Fat Wizard to return.
That is just the internet.
It's just Twitch being like the Niantic servers.
Do you record your videos to your hard drive or take
I
it
do.
to? Okay, so then when you upload it to YouTube, it should be fine.
Sure. Still though, this is an important moment.
Oh,
Yes.
I want to make sure everyone gets all the gives, all the little, all the havoc physics.
The lich
Yes.
bits.
The lich bits as they fly against the wall. Okay, there's been some prep, there's been some inspiration, and Toria.
With a 23 sleight of hand check, dimension dooring next to Chevron. And then immediately dimension dooring out if it is not stopped by some horrible means.
Okay,
Assuming you grab.
so you arrive in the Sorcerer Queen's solar. As far as you can tell, you're alone. Chevron is no longer leaning against the desk, but instead sitting sort of in the center. As though it's been under some study or something like that.
Okay, and I'm still alone here.
So far as you can tell.
Very quick arcane check to see if Chevron has been tampered with.
Sure.
16.
It doesn't look tampered with, but you get the sense that it might be trapped.
How confident do I think I am that Dispel Magic could overcome this, or am I assuming the Sorcerer's Queen did it and I'm just no?
I mean, you've
You've undone worse before.
done great things.
That's true. Alright. Performing the little twiddle that activates my shield,
Yes.
since I of course hadn't done it for obvious reasons. And trying to keep in the back of my mind the bonus action Dimension Door, I will attempt Dispel Magic on Chevron.
Okay.
Trying specifically to dispel anything that I'm not familiar with being there from the time that I identified it and the other times I've looked at it in the past.
Sure.
Like, get rid of the non-Chevrami bits of this thing.
Yeah.
Do you have inspiration?
I do.
I do.
Oh, we both do. Good, we might need all of it by the time we're done with this. I would like, if anyone is willing to offer
I'll give
inspiration on Dispel Magic, if it comes to a die roll, and it probably
Okay, well,
will.
then I'll wait.
Alright, Toria attempts Dispel Magic on the...
It is going to come to a die roll.
Okay, so it's greater than a third level spell.
Absolutely.
Then I will definitely be taking the inspiration.
Done.
I'm giving inspiration on the trap.
Hey, wait a minute. That's not nice. Alright, here we go.
Just mage hand it.
Can't mage hand it through a dimension
I know,
door.
I know.
I wish, believe me. A 24, so 14th level or lower spell level is Dispel. That's literally anything that exists to known wizardry. Okay,
It seems to have removed whatever protections lie over the artifact sword.
arcane check again to verify real quick.
Sure.
28.
Seems fine.
Dimension door with it if nothing stops it.
Nothing stops you. You. What?
Antorio sacks against the wall. Let's get the hell out of here. And he's leading the way up to the...
Churchill-us! Success!
Not by a long shot yet. So I guess we approach the intersection and wait for the half-giants to go past if no one is objecting to that plan.
That's I think what we should do.
All right.
Also, can I have the sword?
By all means,
You have a weapon now. Because remember, we don't have our equipment still.
we don't.
Oh, do you want to give him his cards back?
Oh yes.
Thank
You might
you.
be needing these.
Thank you. He places them back in the secret hiding pouch and...
Gross. The lich pouch?
I can't believe you give a lich an item of such incredible strength.
So Antorio waits,
gonna kill me.
having been through the passage and knowing the half-giant's pace,
Sure.
suggests waiting until they're about halfway through and then everyone trying to kind of sneak out the opposite way when they're past. As stealthily as
Well, I
possible.
mean, so you're going to the intersection, but you're gonna hide until
It's a bunch of like draped vines, right? Like.
No.
No.
it's like clinging around like.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
If here's the intersection, where is the nearest intersection before that on our side? Like, is there a corner we can kind of hide behind?
Yeah, I mean you can, but then you won't be able to see necessarily where the. I mean you can hear certainly whether or not they're passing by. There's not a whole lot else going on down here.
Did they react to Tanger before?
Nope. It's
Alright.
kind of dull.
Okay, Tanger will fly back down and be looking down the hallway from the other way. He's not going that close to him. He has really good night
Sure.
vision. He doesn't need to.
They seem determined to simply see their routine patrol.
And Antorio will motion
Continue
you
on past the junction and down towards the cell where you were so recently held.
As soon as they're around a single corner, Antorio will motion everyone around and hope they can be quietish about
Everyone, give
it.
me a assault check.
Remember, you don't have disadvantage. You don't have your
I have
armor.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's D20. It's D20.
Kidding. 10.
7.
7.
18!
18.
Someone knows how to be
Like
quiet.
the shadows themselves, Zor creeps down the hallway. Marcus farts. Marvin giggles a little bit. Nothing happens.
Alright. Antorio immediately sends another order to Tanger who tells him to go harass the two giants, but keep them where they are,
Okay.
as he motions us around the corner.
Flies back past you, back towards the cell, where you can see that they've definitely discovered the horrific scene that you left before you. They can't really tell what the heck is harassing them. It's such a harassment. Oh God! Oh, it's got feathers. It's walking so noble.
And
So
is Antorio still within 100 feet at this point?
Yeah.
Probably? Alright. Antorio, with a silent apology to Tanger, gives him what will probably be his last order. He stealth casts with a 23 Shocking Grasp and passes it to Tanger so that he can Shocking Grasp one of the guards and prove himself a major threat. I guess I can roll damage and maybe knock out the guy.
Maybe.
Probably not.
Half-giants.
11 electric damage, can't take reactions.
So you don't have to be in touch range to...
Only Tanger. I have to be within 100 of Tanger, and then Tanger can touch them and deliver the spell.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that he'll buy us time to get further away
Yeah.
before they properly sound an alarm, since now they have an electric bird.
So one
to
of
get
them
you.
has like the Blanca spark effect.
Skeleton.
The other one wraps a massive meaty fist around the bird.
What's his AC? Wait, what did he hit on?
Real good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Tanger has 1 hit point, so that settles that.
I hit on a 27.
Oh yeah, even Antorio wouldn't be able to protect himself from a 27.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we hopefully bought ourselves a couple of rounds. Let's continue with the great escape.
You guys make your way up the grand staircase and emerge on the ground floor.
Aldous the only one. He points the way we came in the last time.
We need to go back to House Stell.
You guys are just leaving out the main entrance?
We know of no other entrance, right?
I saw no other and there was no time to look.
We should go.
It might get hot.
It's almost certain to get hot.
And in what manner are you guys leaving?
Full on sprint.
What the hell?
Phone.
Oh,
Unbelievable.
yeah. Tori says, I hear no alarm. Walk calmly. Look like we belong here. If you hear the first sign of trouble, by all means sprint. But
Alright.
act like we're on duty.
Marcus will do his best to like.
We're just walking out normally at this point.
Big sword. It's
Well, there are a pair of mall guards at the front, but they don't seem to really give you all that much attention. After all, you're leaving Sunlight home. It's usually people trying to get in that they have to worry about.
Okay.
There is a sight here that wasn't there before. There is a spear, 10-footer, big old pipe with Grazik's head just sort of crammed on top of it.
well.
And Toria doesn't even give it a look. I mean, he sees it, but he doesn't give it any significant glance whatever, just keeps walking right on by. If nothing is stopping us, of course.
Sure. You guys continue on into the city. Where you guys going?
Out of the
House
city.
still?
Do we know where House
Oh,
Stell's...
yeah, we need to get our shit.
Yeah, it's right outside the city. It's in that
Alright,
plaza that is outside the Machti wall.
we are heading there.
Okay. You are unharassed on the rest of your path. You arrive back at the pavilion. By this time, you at least are a known quantity, and you're allowed into the main area.
We were like... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. What was the fellow's name we've been...
Targstel. And after a few minutes of waiting, he arrives and says, heard there was quite the commotion. Glad to see her.
That is an
intact.
understatement. May we speak in private, the 5 of us?
Yes, this is gestures to the guards, and they seal up the tent that you're in. It says main command tent. So,
Did you hear anything of what happened at this ceremony after the Red Moon Hunt?
I heard, yes. Been keeping close tabs.
My deepest apologies. It seems neither of us was able to fulfill our original obligations to each other.
Well, it's the way of things. Take a risk in business. Sometimes risks pay out, sometimes they don't.
I would like to compensate you for holding our goods for us, if you would accept such.
Go on.
You held them for 5 days. They are intact, I assume.
Just so.
Would you accept a recompense of 750 gold in exchange for your holding of them?
That's very generous, but I've no need of such a gesture. It means the world to me, though.
You will return it then for nothing?
I didn't say that, no. I'll tell you what. No, our business didn't play out so well here, but so far as I can tell, you've made some sort of getaway, and, well, there's not an alarm clamoring for your heads, so I can assume that, at least for now, you seem to be in the clear. And regardless of how you conducted yourselves in front of the Queen, well, you seem to be able to handle yourselves pretty well.
This is so.
I'll tell you what. I'm headed back to Uruk to begin moving up in the chain of management in House Stell. I suppose your journeys might take you that way sometime soon.
And Toria kind of looks at the others and kind of inclines his head a little bit.
Cade from beyond.
That is certainly a possibility.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you look me up when you're in the neighborhood? We'll call it even.
That is certainly agreeable.
Very well. Well, unless there's anything else to conduct, I imagine you want your things and to be on your way.
Indeed.
Well, I'll see myself out and discreetly have your goods delivered to you.
Thank you.
Heads out the back way. And sure enough, after about 3 or 4 minutes, a wheelbarrow full of inventory items shows up.
Is everything there, as far as we can tell?
Seems to be.
Alright, do we need to make any special check to verify it, or is it just obvious, hey, the stuff's here?
It seems to be pretty obvious.
Okay.
Put my mask on.
We're leaving now. Go.
Yep.
How?
We walk. How?
Where?
Way.
For now.
Remember, we flew in here by balloon.
No, we're not in the
No,
city.
we're outside the
We're out the
city
city.
now.
We got
We're
out of the
outside
city.
the- oh,
we got out of the city.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. I thought we just got outside the palace.
No.
So, one,
No, remember, house style isn't even allowed inside of it all.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
one question. I do have sending memorized. I'll try sending a message to Dojot and see how he's feeling. Once we're a little further away from the city, let's.
Oh, so once you leave the tent, another of House Stell's guards gestures for you to follow him.
Ah. Well, let's follow him then.
Leads you over to the stables, where there are a set of fresh Enixes with saddles and bridles awaiting your use.
Cade is not going to be happy.
He never is, really.
Less than normal. Hastel has our gratitude and thanks for this advance on our good service in the future.
All the same, don't maybe mention your association.
Agreed.
Well, on your way.
We will be.
Zark bulks a bit.
Get on, we're leaving now.
Marcus takes the largest Enix.
We need
It's
to get some.
appropriately sized.
We need to get some distance on this place before we can decide our next move. I'll need to
Very
consult
well.
with Dojot, which frankly I'm glad to be able to do. Let's go.
And you guys mount up
And
and ride off into the forest.
Sunset. Into the sunset.
Well, yeah.
Sunset
An
Riders.
hour, at least an hour away from the city before
Sure.
Antoria tries to call a halt if no one objects.
Well, before we get an hour out, once we get a half hour out, I want to call my minions back.
Of course. They come galloping along.
Yes.
Nothing in the force.
We have
That's
been
amazing.
The
reunited.
torch has gone out.
Oh. Is he still holding it?
Of course. You
Yeah.
didn't give him any instructions to the contrary. And sure enough, give me a perception check.
5.
5! You can see even... Oh, those little specks. Oh, there's these little teeth.
Anyone else can notice the teeth?
No, they're so
Oh,
small.
Okay.
Does Zorak notice these are undead?
No,
Okay.
they're just regular teeth.
Well, I think you meant any of the
I
creatures.
meant any of them.
Oh, those are definitely undead.
That's going to be
gorillas.
a problem.
Wait, so it's an undead.
What are these abominations?
There's an undead gorilla, an
And a
undead
lizard, right?
Cat
tiger,
It was
cat
this-
thing,
yeah,
Oh, the
that's right.
cat.
and then some
Yeah.
teeth.
And Zorak is immediately going to use Turn Undead on them.
That's. I mean, that's fair. It just. It
Oh, I
doesn't
mean,
look
two
like
undead come running up to the party. What would a
Block.
cleric do?
What's
So,
undead get us?
I'm going to guess they're not CR1.
Oh,
If
God,
they are
no.
CR1, they're immediately they disintegrate.
The teeth are disintegrated.
Okay. The others get a DC 17 Wisdom save.
Okay.
If they fail, they're turned, they run away, they get no reactions, and they can only move.
Okay. The the tiger creature is, or no, it was a Tygon, wasn't it?
I think so.
Is turned and disappears into the forest.
Okay.
I still have the ape.
The ape succeeded in his save.
Alright. Then Zora will say, these abominations must be eliminated. They are an affront to nature.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
hard
no.
to hear him over all the
Yeah,
galloping.
yeah.
well, that's true. Galvin and the apes are
No, they're, it's cool. They're with us.
They're with you, to clarify a very important point.
Yes, but you'll be glad they're on your side when there's a
Never.
fight.
No, not even. Those things are likely to cause a fight if we take them back into the forest. Do you have any idea how druids view these things? It's bad enough you made them in there. Taking them back into there is really not a problem we need on top of everything else.
is going to amp up.
This all against the setting of the Crimson Sun bickering on into the wilderness.
Oh, I was going to amp up my A game,
Well,
actually.
we'll pick up there next week.
So
I
that
think.
Cade is here to
Alright.
yell.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
I'm going to dispel evil right now.
Ooh, that I am actually evil.
And it might affect you, too.
I don't think that would work to
Good game.
Anyway, yeah.
We 11th yet?
Yes, you guys.
Whoa!
but that means we get
Holy
a
shit!
spell, right?
That's actually
You
amazing.
get the first level of truly broken spells, otherwise known as
Can't wait.
6th level.
Great. I gotta see what sort of stuff I can get here.
Yeah, I mean, I would talk with B-Man about it, because at least in the Wizard book, there are definitely some that are just no.
Oh, it won't affect you, by the way.
And of
It's
course,
a touch
Oh.
attack.
in Epilogue, after the credits have rolled for the episode, seeing La-la-li-Puy standing at her solar looking out into the distance. Watch it.
She's probably like, all went according to plan.
She is the far held.
Kind of terrified to think what trap would have been on that damn sword.
Thank you guys so much for playing. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you so much for all the donations tonight. That was incredibly
Hit
generous
die
of you
rolls.
guys.
Wow.
That was so much fun.
Circle of Death sounds
Circle-
awesome.
It has a
Yeah.
radius of like 100 feet.
Does it just kill everything?
Well, it's actually fairly low damage because it is a radius of like, you could like
Yeah.
literally take out city blocks with this stupid
Circle
thing.
of Death would be a good party name. Much better than Zone of Madness or whatever they call it right now.
Oh dear.
Thank you guys so much. Please tune in again this coming Thursday. It'll be the season finale of our Star Wars Imperial Assault game.
Hey, you won last time, didn't you? I think you did.
Did.
We definitely won. I know that we won because I only have bad memories of it.
Yes.
It's a great game and I like it a lot. And this is the last time we're ever going to play it in our entire lives. It's wonderful. No, it's a lot of fun. It's very, very entertaining. It's there's just as much, if not more, screaming than go on Dungeons and Dragons nights. So tune in for that, and we'll be back again next week with lots more Dungeons and Dragons adventures. I think we might have another kind of thing going on this week.
Oh, yeah.
again.
Saturday or Sunday?
Can we
Saturday,
talk
I
about
think.
that at all, or just holding on to that?
Well, I've told people already we're going to try and do a game
Then-
night Saturday. So,
yes.
Saturday.
so we'll see about that. I don't
So-
have a time set yet.
Yes. So keep your eyes on social media. I'm sure some or all of us will be blabbing about that sometime soon. In the meanwhile, have a wonderful night, and thank you again.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, stream.
Bye.